hello. What's up tonight, everyone? Welcome. Fine Monday to you all. No, Tuesday. The days all blur together. Tuesday to y'all. That's the right one. Good to see ya. What is up, David and Wirefight and Doodoo McGee and Psycho Magi and Swing for Zero and the Balding and I welcome Shikarian, Lil's Frozen, Swing for Zero. How's everyone doing tonight? Jake Jesus, Acropolis, Rockalypse. Thank you so much for the sub, by the way. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Troy. Welcome, Troy. A little cheeky. How is everyone this fine Tuesday? So we are historicing tonight. We got some fun historic decks to play. I know. Well, so yeah, it's a little bit of a glitch. It'll be fixed once we switch away from spoilers. But first we gotta talk about our new cards. We don't have many new cards, but we gotta talk about Kaldheim. So step one, we got more flip lands, which, I mean, they're good. I'm glad they exist. A little bit anticlimactic after F5ing all day waiting for spoilers. That is like, hey, it's more pathways that you already knew were coming, but now you get to see the art. So more pathways are good. Hey, what's up, Count Joku? Also, the most interesting card of the day is definitely Showdown of the Skulls, and that is not only a saga returning, but a saga that is multicolored, which we haven't seen multicolor sagas before. J. Darren, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. I think this saga is interesting. So, lore counter 1. Impulse draw for 4. Exile your top 4, can play until the end of your next turn. That's the ability that's exciting. The last 2 lore counters, when you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. Whatever, don't really care about that. But I feel like blinking that with Yorion is going to be really good. So Maru Yorion decks, Boros Commander decks is probably really good in. So we don't have much from Kaldheim yet, but a little, just a little taste of Kaldheim early. Hey, what's up, Stilts? How are you? Good to see you. So that is Kaldheim for today. We should get a little bit more tomorrow. At least there's no more pathways to spoil. So they can't keep giving us... They can't keep giving us pathways because we got them all. We got them all already. Yeah, it is like a Viking Norse mythology metal set. I'm very interested how music is going to play into this. I'm really unsure of what that's actually going to mean, but yes, a Viking death metal set. Yeah, so they're having metal bands spoil cards apparently today and tomorrow. There's 7 death metal bands, and it sounds like, or metal bands, not all death metal, but it sounds like they're all going to be spoiled in the next 2 days. Looks like a stunt more than anything. I mean, it's marketing. It's definitely marketing. We'll see if metal actually plays into the set. I mean, I think you kind of associate like Norse and that mythology with death metal. There's like some crossover there, I would say. So it kind of makes sense. But will there be reverse pathways? Wait, aren't pathways reversible? Like, what benefit would they be if they were reversed? Wouldn't it be the same thing? Like blue on one side, black on the other, or black on one side, blue on the other? Isn't that the same card? Beard tribal against the odds. I mean, once we get Kaldheim, we're gonna have lots of beards. So anyway, today it is a historic day, and we got some sweet decks to play. Some decks I'm really excited about. This one I've been talking about for a bit. I think this deck's really fun. Is it good? I don't know if it's good, but good God, are the combos spectacular. This is OMENiscience? Omen, Flood of Tears, Omniscience combo for historic. So that's on the list for today. We're going to start with that. We also have Paradoxical Sigh, we haven't gotten to yet, even though we've been talking about a viewer-submitted Aetherflux Reservoir artifact deck. We also have another deck that we haven't gotten to yet. Gruul Unsealing is on the list. So we got a few different spicy historic decks to play today. Could even go back deeper to like 5-color humans if we wanted to, but that is the plan for today. Historic time, so this is gonna be fun. Speaking of artifacts, is it servo time, JP? Just finished the last stream, said you were live, perfect timing. Well, welcome, Reman, good to have you. Welcome. So how is everyone tonight? It's Keldheim, early spoiler day. It's almost the holiday season. I guess we do our reminders and start talking about Magic. Then we talk about Keldheim, what we're expecting. We talk about spoilers. I don't know if any of you have seen this conversation about whether Wizards should pay people to spoil cards. We might talk about that a little bit because I'm actually curious what people think about that. It kind of caught me by surprise that was something that started to catch hold on social media today. Are we only getting one spoiler day? When do spoilers start, if not today? So there are a total of 7 metal bands who have some form of spoilers between today and tomorrow. I don't know if they're all going to be cards, but and then we have essentially nothing. I think there's one Wizard spoiler on Christmas Eve, and then nothing till January 7th. So that's kind of the where we're at with spoilers. So we'll get a little drip over the next couple days, and then have to wait till January after the holidays. But anyway, reminders that we can talk about all this stuff after we talk about the deck, start playing Magic, because I do think the should Wizards pay for spoilers thing is interesting. Because here, all right, let's do our reminders first, and then we talk about that because I do think it's an interesting topic. Reba YouTube, that's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. I mean, one Christmas we got Ugin, which was like the best card in the set. So Wizards might release something really crazy on Christmas Eve. It seems possible based on historic precedent, so we'll see. But Replay YouTube, that's where you'd find the old streams. Normal YouTube, we did some Fling Affinitying for Budget Magic yesterday. There was some sweet Crim Historic gameplay today. Tomorrow, against the odds, we are heading to Modern for Reaper King. Spoiler coverage will be starting. There wasn't enough today. There just wasn't enough spoilers to do a daily spoiler. But once we get some tomorrow, there should be enough for a spoiler video. So that is all coming up as well on the YouTube. A reminder that our awesome sponsor this fine Tuesday evening is Card Kingdom. And maybe you need some Magic cards. Maybe you haven't gotten... Uh-oh. Why is... Uh-oh. No Card Kingdom pop up. Well, in that case, gonna have to do this the less ideal way. But Card Kingdom, you get all your Magic cards over at cardkingdom.com. You can even get a free Scoop Soldier sticker. Just let them know you want one of your order notes, and they will hook you up. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Otherwise, merch page has tokens, t-shirts, playmats, get away to support the stream and the channel and the site. Donations, always appreciated. Never required. $2 a message, more gets your message read on stream. And the Discord is new and improved. So anyway, let's talk about this deck. This deck's going to be sweet. Found a big foil modifier card. Foil Chain of Vapor in an old box. So that's probably pretty expensive because it sees Legacy play. That's a good find. That's a very good find. So deck 1 tonight, we are playing OMENiscience in Historic. So idea of this deck is pretty simple. It's kind of like the old Flood of Tears deck that we messed around with a little bit in Standard like a year or two ago. So Flood of Tears, 6 mana, you bounce all non-lands. If you had 4 non-tokens returned to your hand, you can put a permanent card into play. So the idea of this deck is with either Flood of Tears or Genesis Ultimatum, which you know what that one does, we're trying to get Omniscience into play. If we can get Omniscience into play, we should be able to just win the game on the spot. The key cards to making the Flood of Tears plan work are Omen of the Sea, Omen of the Forge, Omen of the Hunt, Wolf Willow Haven. So these are just cheap permanents that do something when they come into play and up our permanent count for Flood of Tears. So when we put Omniscience into play, we preordain through a deck to find Omniscience, we kill something, we ramp a little bit. So that's the goal of the deck once we get Omniscience into play, because it might not be all that obvious how this deck works. So what we're trying to set up with this, to win the game, what we do is get Omniscience into play. Hopefully with Flood of Tears. That bounces all of our stuff, we put Omniscience into play. Then we get to replay all of our stuff and ping our opponent a little bit with Omen of the Forge, maybe draw another card, maybe get a land out of our deck. And then we play Tamiyo for free. Tamiyo gets back Flood of Tears. Flood of Tears again bounces everything, and now we have a loop. We put Omniscience back into play, we play Tamiyo, that gets back Flood of Tears bounces everything, Omniscience back into play. So the way our opponent actually dies is Omen of the Forge. We just cast Omen of the Forge a whole bunch of times, and that's what eventually makes our opponent lose the game, is looping Omen of the Forge enough to kill our opponent. So that is the plan. Sideboard, counter spells, hate cards, we got a Fog for aggro, some sweepers, and that's basically the plan. So let's see if we can OMENiscience some opponents in Historic. Oh, this deck. I like this deck. I think this deck is sweet. Uh, I mean, Omniscience is so good. How much time in your country now, chat? What time is it here? It is 6:09 in the PMs. So yeah, the paying for spoilers thing, I see both sides of it. Like in general, I agree with the idea that if you're doing work for someone, you should be paid for it. Like that makes sense to me. So I'm not against that. On the other hand, I heard Reddit. The paying for previews thing has been around for a long time. It's just now clear this time they are paying some, not others. You should all be on the same playing field. Just because you're not a big company doesn't mean you should pay for doing the same work. It's more examples of them caring about what you can get out of the community rather than helping. They're willing to play people from outside, but not those who have always been there. I mean, I could definitely see that side of it. So here would be my concern. Is let's say Wizards starts paying for spoilers. Right now, Wizards doesn't pay for people to preview cards. So, like, let's say they started paying for people to preview cards. What I would assume would happen is Wizards would just take and chop off all the small creators and all the diverse voices and all those people that don't have huge followings. If you're going to be paying money, Arena, if you're going to be paying money, I assume that would like necessitate that Wizards would have to pay big creators, essentially. Like, I would be surprised if Wizards would be able to continue to give like 200 previews to a bunch of small outlets, because if you got to pay $500, let's say, or whatever the rate is, then Wizards needs to be able to like get that money back, which would mean they have to go to big name outlets, people with big followings. So that's like, that would be my concern. So like morally, I'm on board with like, if you're doing work for someone, they should pay you. But my fear would be like, yes, let's say we push for this and push for Wizards to like pay for spoilers. I think that'll mean all the smaller outlets are probably just going to get cut out, and it'll be Channel Fireball and Metal Bands and Goldfish and like people like that have big websites, big Twitter followings. And I don't know if that's like, I don't know if that makes it better. Like, is that actually an improvement? Because at the same time, I think I also at least would prefer for like more smaller creators to have a chance to preview a card. Like, I remember getting to preview a card for the first time, and it was super sweet. This was back, I don't even know. It was that horrible Mana Rock. It must have been our return to Innistrad, because it was a Mana Rock that investigated, I think. was the first card I ever got to preview, and I was just like so thrilled that Wizard gave me the opportunity to preview a card. So I would hate to see more people who are just like starting out in content creation, miss the opportunity for something like that, because Wizards needs to make money and get a return on their investment when it comes to previews. Even though I do see how, like, I do agree that from a purely just like ethical perspective, if someone's going to do work for you, you should pay them. The other complicating, I have not played Gladiator yet. The other complicating factor is there isn't really any standard for spoilers. And by this I mean, if you look at spoiler content, some people's spoiler content is literally a tweet like, hey, here's a cool card, #free preview. When other people, like the metal bands today, had a 2-minute video, some of them did, or some, even like Prof puts a ton of work into it. We had Vince like making cakes out of his preview cards. So you have some people that it's just like, hey, here's a tweet, it's a card. And then other people that actually seem to put a lot of time and work into their previews. But Wizards doesn't really tell you what to have to do. They basically just, as someone who gets previews, Wizards just gives you a card, and it's like, hey, this is yours a preview. Make sure you do the FCC things, where it's like, you say it's free preview or whatever because of some legal requirement, but they don't tell you like, oh, make a video or write an article or make sure you talk about this. Yeah, that's another thing about previews that came up. Like, LRR isn't getting one this time. Goldfish doesn't have one this time. Someone else that is pretty well known in Magic doesn't get one this time. But I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so close. Hmm. Not the biggest fan of this Nissa. All right. Well, I guess we got to do this. Omen. Blue, blue, blue. Red, red, green, green. All right, take the island. Play the land. I mean, it's going to be up to the spin. We get to spin it to win it next turn. No counters, please, or we're going to be sad. Loading ready run. So I think what's happening is, as far as spoilers, my understanding is if someone doesn't get a preview that you would expect, the Wizards are just trying to give more people an opportunity to preview cards. So what I believe is happening is Wizards just rotating through some of the bigger name outlets that usually get a spoiler, and that so there's more spoilers to go around for smaller outlets, which I think that's a good thing. That's one of the things I like about how Magic does spoilers is a lot of people get a chance to show off a card. So if that means I don't get to do a preview sometimes, I'm fine with that. So I think that that's actually. Ooh, well, we got 2 Genesis ultimatums. I think that that's actually fine. Opponent's got 3 Thought Seizes this game, too. All right, well, we are going to spin it to win it. Yeah, untap. Omen. Blue, blue, blue. Green, green. So we need green? Well, hope if they have a Mystical Dispute. Crack this. Is it party time? Forest. Green, green, blue, 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 red, red. All right, take that. Genesis Ultimatum. Omniscience, Wolf Willow Haven, Omen of the Forge, Uro, Stomping Ground. Tapped. Oh, we just need a flood. If we hit a flood, the game's over. If we hit Flood of Tears, the game is literally over. Nissa. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Oh, more lands. So put the land into play. And, all right, past the turn. We got Omniscience, but nothing to do with it at the moment. We can't cast Theros from the graveyard. About it. Cardboard Life is open. It should be. Is it not working? I can close it and restart it. I did remember to open it this time. Poetic Combat. Hits us. Yup. Down to 8. Oh, 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's untap, upkeep, sacrifice, Green Omen to scry. Ooh, not helpful. Can we do another? Green, green. All right. 1. 1, 2, 3. Scry. Oh, the fizzle's on. Dodo McGee! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm like super hyped for Kaldheim though. Kaldheim looks so sweet. Yes, I'm planning on doing a Hans cosplay once the world reopens. Ooh, a Viking stream. I'm sure there's got to be a good Viking cosplay too. Maybe I'll just become a cosplayer. I mean, get back. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, let's see. We untap. After a bunch of scrying, we go to our main phase. We play Tameo for free. Tameo gets back Genesis Ultimatum. We cast Genesis Ultimatum. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, new Tameo. Crack. Now we scryed a bunch to the bottom. Let's Tameo. Get back Omen. We need the Flood of Tears. We need the Flood. Omen of the Sea. Oh, land. Both to the bottom. Oh, no! Oh, the fizzle and a half. Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I question this outcome.
Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Don't do this to us on stream. Oh, no. Well, Fabled Passage into... Oh, we're going as far as possible, but we're... Okay. We can cycle. That's our last... Get a mountain. That's our last hope. Oh, we've went so deep and we haven't hit it. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. There's a Flood of Tears right there. That's what we need. Cycle. All right, well, pass the turn. We might be able to live, maybe. And then scry again on our upkeep and try again. Oh, this might keep us alive. Our opponent still has double mana. Because we can double Omen to kill a land, hopefully, if we have to. Yeah, it does exile itself. Or that would be absurd if we could keep looping it. Opponent gonna turn on the land. Goes to combat. Everything at us. Well, we will kill a land. Omen of the Forge. Hit a land. Omen of the Forge hit a land. Staying alive. Staying alive. Yeah. So, taking up Tameo last turn, I don't think would be very good because... Alright, opponent kills it, which, sure. Well, okay. 1, 2, 3. Scry. There it is. That's what we were waiting for. And that should be game. That should be game. How many cards in our graveyard? 6. All right, so we untap. We go to our main phase. We Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This should do it. This should do it. Wow, that was close. Uro comes back. Draws us a card. Ooh, boy. All right, that also does it. Genesis Ultimatum. 1, 2, 3. Tapped. Take up Tameo, and now it's combo time. Omen of the Forge. Whiff. All right, well, Flood of Tears. Pick him up. We will put Omniscience back into play. We will Omen of the Forge. Hit ya. And now we do this until our opponent gives up. Omniscience 2. Tameo. Gets back Flood of Tears. And the shock combo has arrived. Omens make this deck so much better. I guess we play this just in case our opponent has a way to kill a permanent. Flood of Tears. Pick him up. Put him down. And yeah, that's combo. Omen of the Forge. When does our opponent concede? Or do they play it out? Hit your face. Omniscience. Wolf Willow Haven. Tameo. Get back a Flood of... Oh, almost misclick. Get back Flood of Tears. Flood of Tears. Pick him up. Put him down. Omniscience. Let's play an Omniscience. You know what? Let's play an Omniscience. Let's play a Tamiyo. Let's play it over to the Forge. I think this deck's actually, like, kind of good, too. Like, it looks like a janky meme, but I think it's actually, like, at least semi-competitive. Flood of Tears. Pick them up, put them down. Omniscience. Omniscience. Omen. The opponent's going to sit this out for some reason that I don't understand. Shock your face. It's easier. All right, let's see if we can find our other Omen of the Forge. It does speed things up a lot. Well, that's fine. It does speed things up a lot if we have multiple Omen of the Forges, but... Well, all right. Put them all into play. Trigger, trigger. Sure. Well, this did not speed it up. Bottom, bottom. Well, one Omen of the Forge it is. Tamiyo. I mean, we have 20 minutes. Like, there's no way we're actually going to time out. If that's our opponent's strategy. The combo's not that slow. Like, it takes a lot of clicks, but it doesn't take that long. And this is with one Omen, which is as slow as it gets. Omniscience. Omniscience. Omen of the Forge. Hit your face. Our opponent will not concede. We will Tamiyo. We gotta do it 2 more times. Twice more. You know what? If our opponent won't concede, we're gonna play more cards. It's on you, opponent. There it is. There's another Omen. Omen number 2 to speed things up. Hit ya. Flood of Tears. Pick them up. Put them down. And good try, Saltai. OMENiscience. Oh. Whew. I mean, technically, we only need one. We only need one to win the game, but it is nice to have multiples just to, like, speed it up a little bit. Like, that's the upside, is it just speeds it up. Put a Shark Typhoon in your deck, and you get one. Ooh. Well, the Sharks would be... The Sharks would be bounced, right? Wouldn't that be what would happen? Is the stream name misspelled? Is it? What's misspelled? I mean, it's supposed to be OMENiscience. Not that is an intentional misspelling to play off the fact that we're comboing with all the omens. Oh. Oh yeah, you're right. It is misspelled. You were correct. I was focused on the Omen, and you were it was about something else. The final amount of sharks would be massive, since you'd be bouncing drawing. I mean, it would be kind of fun. It would be kind of fun to make sharks. What else can we put in this deck that would be fun? Any ideas? All right. One Omen of the Forge. One Omen of the Hunt. One Genesis Ultimatum. One more Omen of the Forge. Go up. Mystical Dispute. Negate. Narset. I kind of want Ether Gust too. Couple of Ether Gusts? And we're gonna one in a row. Let's try it like that. Here we go. Ooh, Follow Threat would be spicy. Stream title pun. Would Etherflux be faster than Omen? So, yes, probably. Although, the upside of Omen, it doesn't really matter here against Sultai. But the upside of Omen is, it actually does something if we run into an aggro deck. It's also, like, as odd as it sounds, it is also, like, our main removal spell in the main deck. Follow Threat and Bajukabag is super sweet. What did you think of the podcast this week? What did you think of of Standard and where constructed formats are at? I'm actually very curious. Opponent has the Uru, of course. Yeah, Necromancer would get us good. We could use an arrow. Quantum! Ooh, Flood of Tears. Quantum! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Well, Breeding Pool. Tapped. So many lands. Unfortunately, Flood of Tears is actually just good against some decks. Not good against the lands that Nissa makes, though. I mean, I play Standard when I need to do my dailies. In my colors, in Standard decks I need. That makes sense. Historic needs an Uro ban. Yeah, Modern might as well, honestly. Historic definitely does, though. Like, Historic, Uro is kind of off the charts right now in terms of how much play it sees and how good it is. I'm actually kind of surprised they haven't done something with it already. Oh, no, more lands. Oh, my God, more lands. Oh, my goodness. The flood of the century. we are Noah-ing our way through this game. You have to build an arc here. Growth Spiral. Yep. And oh boy. Well, the gig, is it gig or jig? I feel like we've talked about this before. I feel like it should be the gig is up, but I think it's actually jig. But I don't understand why that's like a saying. Why would the jig be up? Why though? Why would people say the jig is up? Like someone stopped dancing? Oh, Omniscience. Okay. Well, we will play a Stomping Grounds. I mean, I guess the good news is if we ever draw something, we do have the mana to cast it. Pretty soon we're going to be hard casting his Omniscience here. Well, I know what a jig is, but... So it's like someone was watching someone dance, and then they were like, hey, they stopped dancing, and they're like, hey, the jig is up, and that just caught on. It's going well, McGregor Sore. How are you? Oh, it used to mean trick. Okay, I guess that kind of makes more... Does it make more sense? It might make slightly more sense. Opponent Growth Spirals. Sure. Well, we're going to be facing down an Uro. We have just drawn an ungodly amount of lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 out of 14. Might have to break out the calculator. Maybe. I actually think... oh no. I actually think the history of like idioms are very interesting. I wonder if there's a website for that. I've never looked it up. There's gotta be. If there's not, someone should make one. Because I would go to your website to learn why we say the jig is up and other similar idioms. I mean, I know what they mean, but I don't know why. I'm curious why they exist. Like, why do they exist? Why do we say them? That's the part that's interesting to me. Ay, ay, ay. Well, okay. They could have Mystical Dispute. So play an island. Wolf Willow Haven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pass the turn. We need to know your idiom. Exactly. Hey, what's up, Buddy Skitty? How are you? Yeah, we're almost there. That's not the plan, but sometimes you flood out and... I expect now that we're in game 2, our opponent has a lot of counters, which is going to make our life more difficult. Interestingly, if our opponent taps down and we draw a permanent, we can just Flood of Tears and potentially win this turn. I don't think it's likely with all these cards in our opponent's hand and with how our draws went, but it's possible. It's possible. Oh, wait, Pyre of the Heroes? Did we get another spoiler? Is there a new one? Oh. We talked about the Saga. I thought there was going to be one more. Oh, it just came up. Okay. It looks like we got a new card. After we finish this match, we'll talk about a new card. I still haven't played Gladiator. Is our opponent tapping down? Are they going to cast a big Crossus? Oh my goodness. There's hope. We just need 1, 2, 3. We just need any of our cheap permanents, and we should win the game this turn. Oh, magic gods. Smile upon the omens. Oh, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, it's exactly one mana short. Okay. That's super awkward. Yeah, we needed we needed a slightly cheaper permanent. We don't have enough mana. It's a combo, but we can't get Omniscience into play. We're a permanent short. We need 4 permanents for Flood of Tears. Oh, let's do this. Breeding Pool. Untapped. Wolf Willow Haven. Wolf Willow Haven. Oh. Oh, yeah, we're just short. We'll look at Pyres of Heroes as soon as this match is done. I haven't even read it yet. Nissa returns.
Strange and magnificent world.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh!
I train, keep an open mind.
We can actually just... Huh. We can actually hardcast Omniscience. The problem is, our opponent's probably going to leave mana up now. Dr. Love! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Uro us, opponent. I've never wanted to be Uro'd so bad. Come on now. Come on now. Wow. Oh, 1 mana short. 1 mana short. Not drawing is fine because we just Flood of Tears and bounce it, and then we proceed to win, but yeah. Well, oh, the fizzle of the century. Oh, so close. That was brutal. That was brutal. We were so close to winning that game. Yeah, let's go back up Genesis Ultimatum. Right like that. I mean, Omniscience doesn't do anything, though. Like, we could cast it, but we don't have anything left in our hand, and then we just die. Well, they have Narset, so we can't draw with Omen of the Sea, unfortunately. So that is the issue. The Narset keeps us from drawing, so we just play Omniscience, but then we get beaten down and lose, yeah. We need to have the Flood of Tears still. Losing the Flood of Tears was painful. This game we have an Uro, which should help. That's something we were missing last game. Like, our opponent was Uroing like crazy. Oh, so many Omnisciences. Uro? Alright, I guess we put it on top, pass the turn. You better not Narset us, opponent. Tap land. Passes. Uro. Resolves. Draw a. Ether Gust. Alright, well. Land tapped. We did miss a land drop. Ooh. We need the lands. We need the lands. Yeah, we should be able to win. And I mean, I guess if they leave Mythos of Nethroi up all game, they got a shot. But I feel like we should mostly be able to win even through that. Hopefully. Hopefully. Oh, Part's gonna make a shark. All right. Well, go 2/2s. Hey, thank you, Dogameth. Opponent hits us and passes. Oh, we will. Wolf Willow Haven. And pass the turn. So, I mean, we can Flood of Tears, but that doesn't do anything yet. We don't have enough permanence for it yet. Hey, what's up, guys? Socks, how are you? Opponent Thought Seizes. Well, sure. Look at this hand. Opponent, combat, hits us. Down to 19, and Uro. Okay. Draws a card. And I'm not doing too bad. What do you think of that modules deck? Who can you send me the list again, Fine Gold? Opponent, untap land. Passes, leaving up a counter probably. Well, Stomping Ground's tapped. Opponent. Hey, what's up, Glock Guy? How goes it this evening? Gets in, it says. Down to 17. Opponent is very good at having Thoughtseizes on the top of their deck, I will say. Impressive Thoughtseize ratio. Takes a flood of tears. Already looking forward to your Gets Odds with Pyre of Heroes at Standard. Crossus X2. Do we Ether Gust it? Probably not. If it gave us enough cards to get Uro back, we would, but... We have not drawn a single Omen, which is very awkward. We have so many in our deck. Hey, thank you, Still Rockin'. Do you have a favorite MTG set? Dispute. All right. Oh, boy. Are we going to lose to Crossuses and Sharks? Timmy the Badfish! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But against it, it's us. What a weird draw this game. Narset. Oh, took your VA? Wait, your VA? What's your VA? Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Frustrating. Yeah, alright. Let's look at the spoiler card. Oh, not great running. Took by Green Machine 3-2 against friends. Ooh, nice. Oh, let me see, Jank Jesus. So, alright, new card. Pyre of Heroes. 2 mana artifact. Pay 2. Tap it. Sack a creature. Search your library for a creature that shares a creature type with the sacrifice creature and has converted mana cost equal to 1 plus that creature's converted mana cost. Put that card on the battlefield and then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. I mean, so it's a birthing pod. Oh, yeah, I gotta redo some stuff with this streaming setup. So, Pyre of Heroes, I just read it. So basically, it's a birthing pod, but it's a cheaper birthing pod. Only 2 to cast and colorless. But you have to have creatures that share a creature type. So it's like a birthing pod, but only for tribal decks, essentially. Tripod is the best name for it, I think. So what do we do with it in standard? Like what tribes would this be good in? Huh. I mean, you can play it in something like Elves. It might be worth it. That's definitely an interesting card, and I wouldn't expect it to be good. Or I wouldn't expect it to be good in most decks. I don't think it's like a birthing pod that you can just slam in a deck with a bunch of creatures in a reasonable curve and have it work. But I think in the right shell, it could be very good. Yeah, clerics actually kind of spring to mind, although we probably need more clerics in standard. But clerics are the kind of tribe because they got the good graveyard reanimation synergies. Like, you could go Changelings. You could use, like, Arcane Adaptation to turn it into a birthing pod. Maybe there's some combos that I'm not thinking of. I like it, though. I actually think Pyre of Heroes is pretty sweet. I think it's, like, a safe birthing pod, but I would not be surprised if there was a deck out there that could take advantage of it. There's gotta be a deck. It's going to take a little bit of brewing and a little bit of building around, but I think that deck probably exists. And I could see it having potential all the way back to Modern. Like, in Modern, but I don't know if, like, humans would want that. Like, if you think about a deck like Humans, does Humans want to pay 2 for a card that does nothing immediately, pay another 2 to sacrifice Champion of the Parish to get Thalia's Lieutenant or something? I'm not actually sure. I feel like you need to have ETB triggers, ETB card draw type triggers and stuff. I'm actually not sure if I would play it in Modern Humans. Like, maybe I'm wrong. And maybe it's great in Modern Humans, but I'm actually not convinced that that Modern Humans is the way to go. Death triggers, untap triggers, ETB triggers. Elementals does seem really good. You can sack random 2-drop, get Risen Reef, sack. Oh, boy. This hand's got power, but it's just so slow. We are on the draw, and we do have a bunch of ramp and scry. I mean, obviously, if we get to Genesis Ultimatum, we got a mulligan. All right, this is a little better, a little bit more castable in the early game. But I mean, yeah, you can get a Risen Reef, sack that, get a Omnath or something. Based on the Commander spoiler, there is a Warrior Spirit, which leads me to believe they're going to be heavy in spirits plus class, so likely something like Sacrifice a Warrior, bring in a Spirit. That could be sweet. I could see that being decent. Uh-oh. Basic Island, eh? Oh, no. Is this like mono? Oh, boy. I don't know what we do against, like, mono blue. It might be like an artifact combo deck. That might be more likely. Or maybe blue-white control. Well, let's Omen of the Sea. Scry. Omen of the Forge to the bottom. We'll draw Wolfwillow Haven. Uro's not the worst. I don't land Uro. Uro's something you don't really want to counter. Found I have COVID, and I'm super bored quarantining. This dream is a lifesaver. Well, thank you, Perguido. I actually just got done quarantining for 2 weeks. I don't know how exposed to COVID I actually was. I've been pretty careful about not doing much and staying in. But I saw a couple of weeks ago outdoors my little nephew and my brother, and we were outdoors and like keeping distance, but little kids are tough. So like my little nephew just like gets there, just runs up and gives you a hug. And what do you do about that? Like, seriously, can you really have like a little kid and just like, what do you run away from him? Push him away? So that happened, and then the next day something with like his preschool teacher or something came down with it, and then he tested positive, so definitely interesting. So we have a shark. Well, let's keep Uroing. Uro away. Trigger. Put a land into play. Put a Fabled Passage into play. Pass the turn. About it. Yeah, why not outcast an Uro? Knock him out. But, I mean, it's easy with adults, because adults should understand. But, thankfully, my life is built for quarantining. Honestly, I really did not notice the difference. So thankfully, I'm a natural quarantiner, I guess. Opponent gets an Itzis. Down to 18. Am I dunking on the fools? Maybe, not intentionally, but maybe a little. Get an island. Opponent missing a land drop is not bad for us. Get a blue, 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 red, red. Get a forest. Omen of the Hunt. Opponent. Let's it go. We get a land. Get a forest. Untap. Draw. Ooh, Tamio would be so nice. How do we resolve it, though? How do we resolve it? That is a good card. Hey, what's up, Zach? How are you? Oh wait, Zach Bot with the top deck. What's the best Ween album? My personal favorite is Chocolate and Cheese, because that's the album that first got me into Ween. Although the Mollusk is probably their best album, which shout out to 12 Golden Country Hits. 12 Golden Country Hits, I think it's got to be most underrated. It's pretty far out because it is like a legit country album, and it does not have 12 songs on it, but but that is a good one. Quebec is good. I think Quebec is solid second tier. I honestly don't especially like some of Ween's earliest albums, like the really rough early stuff. A little bit too rough and a little bit too not amateur, immature. A little bit too immature, I would say. Even though, like, I think part of the charm of Ween is they're just like funny and silly, but their early albums are, even for me, they're a little bit too much. Opponent, cycle sensor. Yup. And a sensor. Yup. So what we want to do is get in a position where we can do cycles cast out. Sure. Opponent's gonna Zenith Flare us. Hey, what's up, Cornelius? How are you? So what cycles to cast out? Okay, opponent gets an entire new hand. I guess we probably could have cast something if that's what our opponent had. Opponent sharks us. Well, let's Omen of the Forge. Kill the shark. Sack Omen of the Hunt to Scry. Yeah, we could play other finishers. Yeah, we'll keep Fabled Passage. That's the card we need for an Uro. Well, untap draw. Fabled Passage. Play it, crack it. We're actually pretty close to hardcasting this Omniscience. Get a land. Uro. Exile it all. About it. Really? That's unfortunate. And our opponent still has enough mana up that we can't really cast Tamio. Oh, there it is. To vary off the top. And to varies. And untaps. Oh, dear. Well, let's Uro. Opponent doesn't care. Oh, yeah, alright, sure. Yeah, it might be scoop time. Opponent draws a card. It might be time to go to sideboarding and bring in some counter spells. How do we get Omniscience down? Well, not the easiest to do against Counterspell Tribal. That's kind of the issue here. More lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, whatever. Cast it. Wow, it resolved. Okay. Flood of Tears. Wow, we ran him out of counters? Okay. I was not expecting that. Omen of the Sea. Well, keep an Omniscience. Play another one. Wolf Willowhaven. And pass the turn. Oh! There's still a Teferi, though. There's still a Teferi. About it, a Tapland. Teferi returns.
Sorry I'm late.
Draws a card.
Hurry.
The hard part is we still only get to draw a card, which is tough. So like counter spells are still great against us. So even with Omniscience, if we're only casting one spell a turn, I think our opponent still is in good shape here. So we get to scry with Omen of the Sea. Wow, 2 more lands while you go to the bottom. Scry with Omen of the Forge. Flood of Tears to the bottom. Untap. Well, let's see if they drew a counter. Tamiyo. Of course they did. Oh, well, I guess that means we get to do this. Uro.
My research has been compromised.
Draws something good. Genesis Ultimatum. Oh, too many Omnisciences. We didn't have the cards to cast Uro before they countered Artamio. Omniscience only lets you cast cards from your hand for free. Opponent, more Planeswalkers, and a Baffling End. Yeah, not looking good. Just so many counter spells that absorb off the top. Brutal, 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 brutal. Ooh, Death Render combo, eh? That's definitely that's a sweet idea. Whenever creatures play for... So you can keep looping the Mirror Retrievers. Opponent has made a Grafdigger's Cage. Dark Puka! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, let's bring in some counters. Huh. Oh, historic. Historic, historic. Well, alright. Bring in a bit of removal. Some counters. Alright, right like that. Hey Seth, how's it going? Cheers from Brazil. I'm really glad Wizards put Angara on their metal playlist. Huge fan. Great to know that the Brazilian band is having that kind of visibility. That's super sweet. I mean, it's an infinite combo if we can resolve anything. Hopefully, you get to see it again. Hey, have a good date night, McRagazar. Tell your wife hello. See you Thursday, hopefully. This deck feels like the bad guy deck. Wait, our deck's the bad guy deck? Why is our deck the bad guy deck? Worse than Teferi? Worse than Teferi? No, I will not accept. I will not accept that. No. I mean, if you get out, you get to loop Flood of Tears with Tamiyo and shock him to death with Omen of the Forge. But do we want to win with Ulamogs? Like, if we do that, aren't we just Teamer Ramp? Like, I guess that's my concern. Like, if we add in Ulamogs and Ugins, would it make the deck better? Yeah, but then are we just Teamer Ramp? And then should we be cutting Flood of Tears and Omniscience and the Omens and playing Gross Spirals and Explorers and just casting Ulamogs and Ugins? Then we would really be the bad guy deck. Like, what's your Uganing and exploring? Then you're definitely the bad guy. Alright. Well, we will keep. No blue mana yet, but opponent looking for some counters. Well, Lango. Hey, what's up, the Tog? How are you? I've gotten to Platinum 3 using... that's blue mana. I've got to Platinum 3 using Budget Magic Historic Mono White Aura. Has been really fun. Ooh, awesome, Saru. Yeah, that deck is actually pretty good, I think. I'm a believer in that deck. Oh, yeah. Uro. Resolves. More Flood of Tears. Well, we'll see. We got one permanent. We got many Flood of Tears. But our opponent, Counterspell Tribal. How do you feel about the arena rank system? Yeah. I mean, whatever. I'm not a big fan of ladders. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm used to it, but... Or if, So I don't know if it's just because that's what I've always done, but personally I prefer... the league system like Magic Online uses to ladder. I don't know. I feel like the ladder just forces you to grind for infinity
Just the trick for this.
for little reward. Will you update your Mono Black Devotion deck when more sets get added? Yeah, I like Mono Black Devotion. There's a good chance that we do that again. I resolve a Tooth and Nail for full... For full value, I'm getting Seeky Season's Guide and Terror of the Peaks. Ooh, that's definitely super spicy. Huh. Well, I guess we're about to get Teferi into Counterspelled, which is pretty sad. Cycles a Cast Out. Cycles a Shark Typhoon. Yeah, this is not the most enjoyable matchup for our deck. We can be some counters, but just like pure Drago control is about as tough as it gets. Stuff! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Omen of the Hunt. Get a land. It's an island. Untap. Well, pass the turn. So we can kill the Teferi, but it's still going to untap and leave up the counter. Opponent gets in with the Shark. And going to pass. Well, that's a good thing to get countered. Well, I guess we pass the turn. Opponent makes a token. Okay. Hey, what's up, Crystal? How are you? Good to see ya. Unofficial spoilers? Wait, are there actual unofficial spoilers? We're pretty loose about it on the stream, in general. I mean, we're not going to win by not doing anything, but we're also not going to win by doing anything, which is, kind of a tough spot to be in. So I guess we do anything and start eating through the counters. Counter 1 is a Censor. Opponent makes a token. Undups. I just condition my beard. There's a Teferi. Still leaving up a counter. I just condition my beard essentially like I do my hair. Opponent draws a card, passes, hits us. Untaps. Well, Fabled Passage. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Well, Soul Seer to Fairy. Opponent lets it go. We didn't want our opponent to let it go. Tameo. Should braid your beard for the early testing day, for streamer early testing day. Ooh, like a Viking beard braid. Counter 2, and we still know there's a disdainful stroke. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent goes to combat, gets in. Hits us! Down to... Oh, the birthing pod artifact? I think that's an official spoiler. I believe. Oh, come on now. Alright. Let's go to the next one. I don't really feel like continuing on against this torture. Oh my god. I'm not associated with them in any way, but I found a company called Fable Beard Co. Their beard oils smell ridiculously good. Ooh, I'll have to check them out. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that matchup. I mean, a very, very limited birthing pod. I mean, I don't think that Drago is bad for the game. I think that control decks existing are good for the game. But I do think that what our deck is trying to do is ridiculously poorly positioned against a deck that just leaves up a counter every turn. Like, Drago control decks tend to punish decks that are casting big spells at sorcery speed. So, we got severely punished. But if you're, like, playing aggro or something, then it should be a very easy and good matchup. Huh. That is a lot of lands. Many, many. I guess we gotta mulligan that. That is very few lands. What do we put to the bottom? I guess Omen of the Forge? Oh, well, we'll see. Elf, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup here for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh, something involving energy. Interesting. Well, Fabled Passage. Go. What deck in the formats are good versus blue-white control? Generally any like aggressive deck is pretty good against blue-white control. Like, just play 1-drops and attack them, and that is typically enough to beat control decks. Muscles, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess we pass. Still a lot of mana away from doing what we want to do. Our opponent might be playing Ulamogs and Ugins and just trying to spin into it. Well, Triumph bottom, Omen top, untap land, Wolfwillow Haven. I mean, we're actually pretty close to this Flooded Tears. We'll see. We're 1 mana and 1 permanent away. And we got the Omniscience and a Genesis Ultimatum. Oh. Well, the bad news is... Oh. Oh, whatever shall we do? Like, we have the win in 2 turns. But if our opponent... I mean, I guess we got to keep it. The problem is our opponent can just Aetherworks Marvel and then hit something miserable and then we die. Yup. Energy. Fabled Passage. Opponent passes. Well, Stomping Grounds. Tapped. Well, this is it. This is your turn, opponent. We are set up to go to town next turn. Do we get a next turn? Do we get a next turn? we could not win, but Flood of Tears into Genesis Ultimatum and 2 Omen of the Seas is very unlikely to fizzle. It's possible, but it is incredibly unlikely. I assume our opponent's marveling would be my guess. So the question is going to be, what is their marvel hit? Assuming they have a marvel. Yeah, we did talk about the new tribal birthing pod. I like it. I'm not exactly sure what... Oh, are we not getting marveled? I'm not exactly sure what you do with it, but I do like it. It's definitely limited and restricted, but it is powerful if you can find a shell for it. Very powerful. Yeah, maybe we try Pact of Negation in the sideboard. Could be worth it. Could help against the control decks. Opponent gets in with Servant of the Conduit. Are they playing main deck counters? There was a little delay there. We'll take blue. We gotta go for it, right? We could also just Genesis Ultimatum, but... Do we go for it? We gotta go for it. I don't think we can not go for it, so... Fabled Passage. Crack... we're going. We're going! We didn't come here to... not cast Flood of Tears. It is making me nervous that our opponent is getting priority. Okay. Game. Omniscience. Well, our turn to do busted things. Genesis Ultimatum. Uro, you. Wow, okay. Yep. You go on you. Untap just in case. 2 arrows. They're both going to the graveyard. We draw a few cards. We scry a few times. There's Tamiyo. We don't need another Omniscience. And that's game. That's game. The combo has arrived. We put a land into play. Sure. Ooh, another Flood of Tears. Well, Omen of the Sea. For free. We just need Red Omen. That's what we're looking for now to actually close out the game. We will Omniscience again, just in case. Omen of the Sea. Number 2. Bottom, need the red one. Wall of Chaos, 48 months. That is insane. 4 years. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Thin the deck. Flood of Tears. Pick them up. Put them down. Omen of the Hunt. Thin the deck. Get a land. Omniscience just in case. Darkstar! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Omen of the Sea. Don't need any of you. Well, okay, that's might as well. Genesis Ultimatum. There we go. Wolfwillow Haven. There's an Omen, and now the combo is complete. If you were asking how do we win the game, this is how we win the game. So the loop is... Sure, yeah. Isn't that dying anyway? Opponent just wants energy. So the loop, I'll show you the loop right now so you know how it wins. Put a land into play. So here's the loop of how the game actually ends. Carolina Ghost, welcome to the Fishbowl. So we cast this Omen, hit our opponent. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. We play Tamiyo for free. Tamiyo gets back Flood of Tears. Flood of Tears bounces everything. Then we put Omniscience back into play, so our stuff's free. Then we get to Omen our opponent, and then we do the same thing in case our opponent scoops. So Omen, hit our opponent down to 12. Make sure we have enough permanents to trigger our Flood of Tears. We play Tamiyo. Tamiyo gets back Flood of Tears. That bounces everything. That lets us Omen of the Forge 2 more times. So the Omen of the Forges are our actual win. And opponent realizes that it's over, and they're dead. How did he come up with this deck? So, there was a deck sort of like this in Standard, because for a brief time, Flood of Tears and Omniscience were both legal, and I feel like we played it for a stream or something, but there was a deck based around getting Flood of Tears, getting Omniscience and play with Flood of Tears. However, the big addition that didn't exist with any other formats, and I think the innovation, you had to have another finisher. If you're trying to loop Tamiyo and Flood of Tears, you need a way to actually win the game. Omen of the Sea, Omen of the Forge, Omen of the Hunt, they're so big for the deck because they do exactly what we want to do. And Omen of the Forge also ends up doubling up as our win condition. So they up the permanents and then turn into the win condition in the late game. So that's kind of the big new addition, I would say, for the deck. I mean, it definitely is really sweet to watch it go off. This is the grossest storm deck I've ever seen, and I've watched Pauper Storm. Oh man, Pauper Storm is next level. Pauper players and their Omen of the Hunt just gets a land, gets a basic. I don't know why it won't pop up here, but yeah, it's just a rampant growth. All right, so opponent is Etherworks Marveling. So I guess Grafdigger's Cage. Are we worried about do we think they're marveling? Kira Ashmore for the 45th month. Thank you for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. I am having a great time. Any plans for spoiler season over Christmas? So, as far as Wizards release the spoiler schedule, hang on, let me we got a sideboard here, we're gonna run out of time. So Negaten, let's go with them being Marvel. Let's assume they're Marvel and just go with that. So Wizards release the spoiler schedule. We will have spoilers tomorrow. And then a spoiler from Wizards on Christmas Eve. And then spoilers starting officially in earnest on January 7th. So I am planning on doing, I think tomorrow, or definitely Thursday. We'll see what cards come out. I thought about doing a spoiler video today, but since most of the cards were the pathways, that I don't even know what we talk about with them, because we already have most of the cycle and know what they do, I figured I'd wait until we got the rest of the week of Metal spoil, or at least more of the week of Metal spoilers. So I'm planning on doing a spoiler video, at least one this week, after we get a couple more spoilers from the early spoilers. And then we'll see what Christmas Eve actually brings and what the card is. If it's actually like a bonkers card that's worth talking about, I'll probably try to do a Christmas Eve video. If it's just like a random, I don't know, holiday flavored comment or something, I probably won't. It Wiggles! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Well, Wolfalo Haven. Wolf Willow Haven. Grafdigger's Cage. Pass the turn. Alright, well this keeps us from marveling to death, which is good news. Opponent passing. Oh, Tamiyo. Alright, counterspell, sure. Steam Vents tapped. Yeah, what did you think of the metal band playlist? So, metal is, I like all genres of music, really, outside of, like, pop country, like radio country. Definitely not with, like, Johnny Cash and Hank Williams, like, that kind of country I like, but pop country I really don't. Metal, though, I don't not like metal, but it's also one of the genres that I am least familiar with. So, if you actually know metal, how would you rate that playlist? Like, is it a good playlist? Also, this is actually big news. Someone speaking of music on stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll keep both of these. Triome tapped. I mean, we can Flood of Tears for value. We'll see. We'll see what our opponent does. A little unapproachable. None of it appeals to me. Pretty good playlist. I mean, I know one of the things people said is, like, not enough songs. But I think the goal was to have it be just the bands that were previewing cards. Ooh, if anyone has a link to the playlist, it's a Spotify playlist. If anyone has a link, you can stick it in the chat. We can ultimatum, but we cannot put creatures into play. So, which is mostly fine because we're not really a creature deck anyway. So opponent's representing a counter. Is it even worth it? Yeah, opponent gets shocked to death eventually. But what are we putting back into... We're just, like, picking up all of our omens? We probably got to put Grafdigger's Cage back into play. Alright. Whoa! No counter, but they sack it? Yeah, awkward to put Grafdigger's Cage back into play, but... Oh! The worst. Yup. Omen of the Sea. Well, I don't think any of this matters now that, this is what happened. Sure. Yeah, we're not gonna have enough cards left to win. And our opponent gets another spin. Oh boy. Sure. Yeah. Good old Ulamog. I've enjoyed the playlist, but I have 4 songs I liked already on my Spotify. Ooh. Oh, you already had 4 of the songs on your Spotify. That makes sense. All right, so opponent trying to spin Ulamogs into play. And I guess maybe we should just cast the Genesis Ultimatum. And Arena is so weird because you can tell when your opponents have an instant, but apparently our opponent had random artifact destruction instead of a instant that does things. All right. Marvel into Ulamog is the reason I gave up Historic. Yeah, I don't know about in general, I like anthologies. I like that anthologies add new cards to the format. I do wonder about some of the individual choices. Like, is Historic a better format with Ulamog in it? I'm not sure, honestly, if it is or not. Hey, good to have you back, Aburnza. For a metal band that fits my playstyle, I would recommend Goblinic. Well, Tapland. I've never heard of them. Eberraza, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. So Wizards on their Twitter posted a Week of Metal playlist that featured 7 metal-ish bands that are previewing cards this week. Attune with either. And opponent passes. Well, Well, let's Omen of the Sun. Bottom. Play the land, pass the turn. Opponent adapts. 2 energy at the moment. Ether Hub, 3 energy. Manually tapping for a Servant of the Conduit. So, Mystical Dispute, apparently. That's 5 energy. Well, Crag Fabled Passage. Grab a island. Ooh. Well, let's Wolfwillow Haven. Could use more lands. Would not mind more lands. We're getting like kinda close, but we're not all the way there yet. Pass the turn. What is my music playlist like? Oh, well, there's a Marvel. And they dispute it back and then win. Yup. Well, player O. Draw a card. It is not a land. Oh, we need a land! We need a land! About it. Of course, has more energy to turn on Marvel. And Ulamog! Oh boy, that card. That card! Ned Smith for the 48th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. I do also the Grateful Dead sometimes. We'll do one more match, then we'll try one of the other decks. Oh, we've got to see the combo go off, but good lord. Counters, turn 4 Ulamogs has been our experience for the night. Can we get a Goldfish playlist? You've exposed me to several bands over the years. I could use some new tunes. Ooh, I will make one. I listen to a lot of indie, a lot of like kind of underground or like, yeah, a lot of like, I guess I would say pretty off the radar, music. I like some classic music, classic rock type stuff, but mostly more like the Velvet Underground, Frank Zappa, Grateful Dead, Mothers of Invention end of things than the like Rolling Stones, whatever. I mean, I don't mind Rolling Stones, but yeah, I'll make a playlist. I think it'd be fun. Marvel does not. Wait. Does Marvel get stopped by Arbiter? No. Because Marvel doesn't search your library. I'll play a land. Uro. But opponent's untapping with a Lotus Cobra, which means something degenerate could definitely be in our future. I'll pass the turn. About it. Untaps. Whirlwind Denial would stop it. Opponent has in a row. And, yeah, I like the Fugs. Grafdigger's Cage does stop Marvel. Opponent finds a Fetchland, so free Uro? Free Uro is pretty good. We actually have to pay for our Uros. Remember the condescending Marvel ban when Wizards said they were only banning it because they were complaining it was a fine card? I do remember that. That was one of my favorite bans, just because of their description. Their description was so like we don't think this needs to be bad. We're looking at the data. Our data suggests that this is fine, but y'all won't stop complaining. So we're gonna ban it because we're tired of listening to you complain about it. That's my interpretation. But hey, what's up, Archburglar Lord? Question for you: since you play so many formats, why does Thoughtseize see so much main deck play in Historic, but is a sideboard card in every other format other than Death Shadow decks? Oh, I mean, Thoughtseize. I don't think that's exactly true. Missing lands isn't great. Definitely not great. I'll get a forest. Ship the turn. Opponent. I mean, Thoughtseize actually sees main deck play kind of across formats. If you look at... Oh, I forget. I gotta change the stream setup. Hang on. Yeah, I do have to change this at some point. But if you look at this, the most played cards in Modern, Thoughtseize number 5. So definitely a heavily played modern card. In Pioneer, number 1. Historic, I'm sure it's, 50% of decks, number 1. Legacy, not as high in Legacy, although I'm sure it's still somewhere on the Legacy. 12 in Legacy. So it's just such a good card that it sees main deck play. Oh, this is so not good. Well, Tamiyo. Take down Tamiyo. Get a Fabled Passage.
I have learned much from my ancestors.
Crack a Fabled Passage. That's 2 Lotus Cobras, though. Omen of the Forge. Kill a Lotus Cobra to try to slow our opponent down. Escape to the Wilds is legal in Historic. You don't see it very much. Opponent, gonna kill our stuff, gonna kill us. So I think our hope is we draw a blue source and we get to spin a Genesis Ultimatum and see what happens. Alright, well, game. Lotus Cobra, lands, manas. So the fun continues. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta remember to fix this. So the problem is when we did all the big update, well, we did this huge update to all the stream stuff. Arena got set on a game capture. So now the problem is I can't put anything on my screen and you see it. Like, all it does is show Arena. So even if I drag something on top of where Arena is, you see Arena instead of the something. So opponent's going off. So, wow, 2 lands on top too? It's all coming up Cobra. So then I have to switch to another scene, and it's sloppy. So I gotta go into the settings and change a couple things so I can actually do that kind of stuff. Opponent, Uro. I think I just got to change it back to how I had it before Thanos, was to just do a monitor capture. Like, I'm just used to it. I've always just done it with a monitor capture, and I think a game capture is technically better because, like, no one can see your desktop or whatever if the game crashes. But because I like to drag stuff over for people to see, I think it's oh yeah. Well, we need to land there. We did not get a land there. Opponent has played their entire deck. I guess that means it's game 2. So yeah, I think I just gotta switch it back to how it was before, and everything should be normal. Just Peter, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Yeah, I didn't really think about it. I was just trying to, when I did the update on stuff, just trying to get everything set up for the best practices, more or less. But in hindsight, now we've done it, the best practices aren't necessarily the best for exactly what I do all the time. So I just forget to change it. I think of it during the stream, but then I don't think of it when I'm doing other stuff because it doesn't come up. So then I don't think of it until we go back to the stream, and then it's not something you want to do in the middle of a stream. So that's kind of the issue. Well, there's just not any way for me to show stuff, Thanos. That's the issue. Like, there's no way for me to be like, hey, here's a cool spoiler or a deck list, and show it to all of you. Hey, what's up, Izarim? So that's a problem. Opponent. Oh, set up another scene? I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing as a workaround, is switching to the Moto scene, because the Moto scene, you can't game capture Moto. So I just switched to Moto, but then it's not set up for that because you got like text box and chat and stuff. So it's not ideal. But yeah, I guess you could do a monitor capture screen. I'm still not 100% sure what the benefit of Ugh. Well, Well, we're going to keep this. We're going to keep this and hope for the best. I'm not really sure how much benefit I get out of a game capture, though. Like, I'm not really sure what the upside is exactly. Yes, I did see the spoilers today. I mean, the lands, we knew they were coming. It's a fine land cycle. But, so those were kind of known, I would say. And then, yeah, we'll keep both of those. So the lands were expected, but they're a good land cycle. This again. Yeah, Lotus Cobra's a card. That is a magic card. Uro. Put a Triome into play. Pass the turn. Well, are we dead? Land, mana, free. Oracle Moldiah, top of the deck. Ugin, land, mana, for free. Yeah, opponent's all about the lands. Can we live long enough to do cool things? Well, pass the turn. Land, mana. Oh, Fetchlands on the top. Oh, no. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. So this is turn 3? What is this? Turn 3 Ugin? Turn 4 Ugin. Yeah, okay. I mean, we can counter it, but then our counter's gone. And who knows what horrible thing will be coming next. Actually, we probably will know in a minute. It's an Uro. Opponent. Yeah, turn 4 Ugin's pretty good, I guess. Oh, we counter it. We crack the fetch land. Oh, we still need another land to Genesis Ultimatum, though. So we're just doing nothing again. Opponent hits us. Yeah, alright. I mean, I guess this kind of maybe slows our opponent down a little, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, we need Flood of Tears, but not a good Flood of Tears. And it looks like one of these two cards appears to maybe be Genesis. Oh, God, what a hand. Genesis Ultimatum. Lands and spells in hand. We do not draw land, so we will Omen of the Sea. Opponent appears to have drawn Mystical Dispute. Well, bottom and top, I guess. Well, that's a land. It's a land. All right. Well, opponent should have a good turn. Lotus Cobra. Sure. And Oracle Moldiah. Sure. And a land off the top. Oh, another counter. Oh, no. Opponent, escape from the wilds to draw 5 magic cards. Plays a land. Well, I guess this is it. We have to have the greatest Genesis Ultimatum of all time with 2 Omnisciences in hand. Well, alright. Omniscience, please. You gotta be joking. Alright. Fair enough. I mean, opponent's playing, top tier deck, so it would make sense that their top tier Ulamog Ugin deck is probably better than the Flood of Tears deck. The ramp deck, you just kind of hope they stumble, I think. If there's one thing we've learned over the past year of Magic, it's that ramp decks in the age of 2020, you just, you wait till they ban them, I think. PJ Delcher, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. I mean, I think that actually is the answer, because Wilderness Wreck, Fires of Invention, Uro, Omnath. Like, if you look at the list of cards that were banned in the last year, It's a list of ramp cards, primarily. There's some other ones that sneak in, but it is primarily a list of ramp cards. So, a quick reminder. Hey, good game, Remy. A quick reminder before we play some more Magic that our sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom. Oh, yeah, that's right. Card Kingdom. Oh, yeah. Our sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom, and if you need some Magic cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free Scoop Soldier sticker, so thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. Otherwise, I believe Scoop Soldier is still a thing. So what do we want to play for a second deck? I think the options are Gruul Unsealing, the timmiest of decks, just Sarkhan's Unsealing, very bad big creatures, cross your fingers, hope to damage them out. I mean, if you untap with Unsealing and get to cast spells, you do deal a lot of damage. So it is just like, look at these creatures. Gargos, Kogla. I don't know why you'd play Endwraith Forerunners over Craterhoof, but yeah, whatever. So that is one option. The timmiest of decks. The other option is viewer submitted Paradoxical Sigh, kind of artifact bounce Etherflux Reservoir Wombo combo. So what do you think, chat? Out of those two options, Timmy or artifacts? Yarok Panharmonicon, sweet. Go back to creatures. You want to do some attacking? I mean, we'll probably end up playing both eventually, I'm sure. I guess we could do an actual, we could do a poll, an official poll. All right, should we do an actual poll? All right, we'll do a quick straw poll. All right, poll going in the chat in 3, 2, 1. Order Rampage! Welcome to the Bitch Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. All right, get your votes in. We'll give it a minute or two. Get your votes in, and we'll move on to the next deck. So, what are you, as you're voting, what are you hoping for from Kaldheim? I heard a rumor that the MDFCs in the set are going to be. Well, I just wanted to make sure people saw them. I need some I voted stickers. So I heard a rumor that the MDFCs are going to be equipment/creatures. I don't know how good those would be. I feel like I'm actually very curious about MDFCs. I feel like the land creature ones, or yeah, land spell, whatever, lands plus something, like those are pretty powerful because your deck has to run lands anyway. So I feel like the poll apparently is not working. Okay, so maybe there's no poll. Maybe we just play a deck. Apparently, straw poll does not work at the moment. Huh. So, either this deck or either the Paradoxical Outcome deck or the Sarkhan's Unsealing deck are the two options. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had straw poll just fail before. That's what we did the Against Odds poll with for a long time, and I don't think it ever failed. It was hacked a few times. It seems like people are saying Unsealing more than Paradox, but it's close. The only thing that's weird about Twitter polls is I never get to see them. It's so incredibly strange. So I guess let me know or not Twitter polls, Twitch polls. Like they don't appear on the screen for me. So I know y'all are voting, but I never I don't get to actually see the results. So you'll have to let me know who wins. So I think that, well, the Twitch poll works, but I just can't see it. I don't know why, but it just doesn't show up anywhere for me to see. Who's winning? So I think that So I think that spell land MDFCs are like inherently powerful because you got to play land, so it's easy to throw them in. Equipment creature MDFCs, if that's what we end up with, I think those will be more dependent on how good the cards are. Like a lot of pretty bad unsealing one. All right, we'll unseal. We'll go Timmy after getting ground out by the control decks. I mean, we got 4 Carnage Tyrants, so this deck does not want to lose to the counter spell. So we're just slamming Carnage Tyrants, attacking. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how other MDFCs work. Anyway. Deck number 2 of tonight, and I will see if I can get the deck list real quick and stick it in the chat for you. So, deck number 2 for tonight is Gruul Unsealing. So the key card in this deck is a Sarkhan's Unsealing. So Sarkhan's Unsealing. If you cast a creature with 4, 5, or 6 power, you deal 4 damage to something. If you cast a creature with 7+ power, it deals 4 damage to all of your opponent's stuff. So our deck, if you look at it, early game, ramp through for removal, wilt, not really sure why that's in the main deck, cultivate, ramp, Kiora, ramp, unsealing, then the whole rest of our deck, 4 power creature, plus ramping Goreclaw. We have 5 power creature, plus can't be countered, and shifting Ceratops. We have Traxos, 4-mana 7 power creature to get the max mode. Terror the Peaks, kind of a backup unsealing. Carnage Tyrant, 7 power. Gargos, 8 power. Kogla, 7 power. Forerunner, 7 power. Galta, 12 power. So it is just the biggest creatures possible. And that's all the deck is trying to do. That is it. I do wonder. So here's one thing I would think of with this deck. I do wonder if, rather than this ramp plan, I wonder if we'd be better off playing more Kioras and possibly Lotus Field. We'll give this build a try. We'll just give it a shot. Boy, this 4 fries. This deck does not want to lose to control. I don't know if I've ever seen a historic deck that is more I don't want to lose to control than this one. So hopefully that's good. All right, let's go stomping. Yeah, it's weird to see Endray's Forerunner over Hoof, but it is 7 power. So that's the reason, basically, is Hoof is only 5 power, Endray's is 7, so you get the max mode. I believe this was made by Platinum/Mythic ranked player. I think it was one of the arena decks, if I remember right. You look on the deck list, I should have, yeah, it's Platinum Mythic ranked player. Hey, what's up, Jeff? How are you? Good to see you. All right. Let's stomp. I do think maybe 4 Kioras for card draw, and maybe Lotus Field to go with it would make it better, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Are we getting Memer Dreamed? I mean, kind of Memer Dream live. I am well, we got the unsealing. No ramp, and we're on the draw, but yeah. All right. Watch us play Goblins now. We've played against Control, and then I guess Combo and Marvel. But watch us run into a streak of like Gruul aggro and Goblins with our deck full of Carnage Tyrants. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's ramp. It's just slow ramp. It doesn't like get us to unsealing quick or anything. But it is technically ramp. Ooh, that's kind of ramp. I mean, that is ramp if we can get it down. Opponent. No, we've been playing against oh, yeah, Remy, I don't think your deck would be control. You were playing a ramp deck. So technically not control there. That is true. But we played against blue white. We played against a Sultai control deck. All right, opponent. Sure. Puts a land into play. And passes. Well, land Kiora. Pass the turn. Little worried that this is going to end up with Nissa. Boy, all about the emotes. Should Arena have actual chat? Would that improve Arena, or would you be worried that people are going to be toxic and make it worse, etc.? Come on, no Nissa. Ooh, Champion of Wits. Was our opponent playing like Sultai God Pharaoh's Gift? Or are they just playing Champion of Wits and normal Sultai? It would be super toxic. Chat wouldn't last a week. Chat is iffy. I mean, I feel like in general, for me, and I know my experience is not necessarily everyone's experience, and I have some advantages in the sense that people tend to know me, so maybe they behave better. Maybe they behave better around me than they would behave against someone they didn't know. Maybe they're on their best behavior or something because they are afraid they'll be in a video. But I've actually had overwhelmingly positive experiences on Magic Online. Even like going back before I was doing content, I would say way more than not my experiences there have been positive. At the same time, Magic Online is like a very small community where most people know each other. So Arena is definitely different and much more video gamey. So would that carry over to Arena? Not necessarily, because on Magic Online, it's older, it's a small community, you can't change your username or anything, so you are associated with your username. Like, there's some people you know in the Magic community just 100% based on that. Not that it's 100% wholesome or anything. I'm not saying it's 100%. You definitely have people that still say horrible things, even on Magic Online. But my experiences there have been positive in general. Well, Traxos time. Hit ya. Sexy Draxy. Give us that card. We could use a land. Look at this hand. It's like we're playing a Tomer Commander deck. Six drop tribal. Opponent's going to pump the Crawling Barrens. Sure. Untaps. Yeah, I think I don't know. It probably wouldn't be good for Arena. Although I do miss like the gathering aspect, and I think that's something that chat does help with to some extent. Ooh. Okay. Well. Do we want to untap this? We need to cast a historic permanent? Like Gorgos? Alright, let's just Carnage Tyrant. Hello to you, opponent. Would you like 4 to the face? Not countering that one, are ya? Leaving up your mana, gonna try to counter us. I see you over there, opponent. I see ya. So far, so good for the Carnage Tyrants. I kind of want to keep... Well, yeah, I guess we should have untapped and attacked. You're right. I do want to keep Kira's loyalty high for card draw purposes, but 7 damage is a nice chunk there. We do have a lot of evens if they have Extinction Event. Untap land. Extinction Event. Well, good news is we got a bunch more 6-drops. There are more where that came from, opponent. Many more. Bring it. Bring it. Which would you like to take, opponent? Opponent. Take Sarkhan's Unsealing. This is what? -2 mana? So we can make 6, 7, 8. Ooh, we can do 2 things? Hopefully. So let's untap a land. Goreclaw. Hit ya. Draw a card. Untap land. Yeah, let's play Gargos. Hit you to 3, draw a card. Yeah, I think this deck definitely wants more Kioras. This Kiora feels insane. Wow, this is actually going very, very well. Opponent goes to 1. Is thinking. I mean, our opponent's so dead. Yeah, this is a weird bird deck, but it's working. Another question for you, chat. Since toxicity came up, do you play other games? And in your honest opinion, how does Magic in general compare to other games? Because here's where I'm coming from. Dual Shark and SPK Dev with a gift sub from J.O. Gubna. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Opponent does a little languishing. So here's where I'm coming from. Like, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I have played a bit of like Fortnite and stuff, like online with my little brothers, and I have been absolutely shocked if you have your like headset on and you're listening to what people say. I am just blown away at the amount of like just horrible stuff that people say, like stuff that I would consider incredibly extreme, like N words, and just not even like, I don't swear on the YouTube channel, but I'm not talking about like, oh, they swear a lot, like that doesn't bother me, whatever, like, but stuff that is just like obviously over the top. So I was actually kind of shocked because sometimes on social media you hear people talk about Magic like the community's horrible, and the community does have things it can improve on for sure. But then I was like, wow, I don't know if I've ever like tuned into a Magic stream and heard someone drop an N-word or something. Like, that's, and if something like that does happen, it is usually quickly dealt with by the community. Dog a Myth with the gift sub to Shroyworth. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, not saying that Magic doesn't need to improve at things, and that is definitely true. I was just blown away. I was like, wow, people actually talk like that? Like, that's actually a thing that happens in other games? Like, that would never fly in the Magic community. Alright, what are we doing sideboard-wise? Opponent, we probably don't actually change much. Like, just, I don't think we need Wilt. Maybe Domri's Ambush? Like, uncounterable stuff at Sarkhan's Unsealing seems good against our opponent's deck. Alright, on to game number 2. Oh. So many Llanowars, so few forests. Alright, well, if we get to 6 mana, look out, opponent. Fatal Passage cracks it. And, yeah, the first hand was just too risky. Well, land is good. Llanowar Elves. Fatal Bush. Yup. All right, little more mana. Yeah, forest would be very nice. Narset, okay.
If you wish to surrender, put thoughtfulness before action.
And Ether Gus. Oh, Castle Garenbrig. That is annoying. That actually does stop our Carnage Tyrant temporarily.
Keep an open mind.
Opponent, Shark Typhoon. And Thoughtseize. And Shifty Magoo. Pass the turn. How many lands does this deck run? I actually would have to look. We can look when we go to sideboarding next. Opponent. Champion of Wits. And alright, holding on to the disruption, discarding some lands. Well, alright, Carnage Tyrant. We did get there. I mean, I'm sure it's getting gusted, but or they have Extinction Event. we'll keep it. You can never have too many Carnage Tyrants against the control deck. And land and okay, hard cast the Shark Typhoon. Hits us. Well, Carnage Tyrant, go. Dino Part 1. Opponent. I mean, I think 2 Carnage Tyrants are fine. Like, what are we going to draw that's better than a Carnage Tyrant here? I don't think there's anything, really. And, yeah, maybe that's why we had the Wilt, was to get rid of Shark Typhoon. I don't really expect people to hardcast it, because I feel like it's normally incorrect most of the time. So I never sideboard to kill a Shark Typhoon, or very rarely do, because I just don't actually expect people to hardcast it. Well, attack your face. Well, yeah. Don't Extinction Event, opponent. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Oh, sweet mother. They do have it. Extinction Event. There goes our good cards. Well. Shifting Ceratops. Haste. Llanowar Elves. Hit ya. Down to 7. One, two, three, four, 5. So the good news is, I feel like if our opponent gets back this Champion of the Wits, we hopefully win. They would have to Oh, they have the Fatal Push. Ooh. Oh, that's what they need. I was going to say they need exactly that. Now we're a point of damage short, and our opponent's going to refuel. And Extinction Event is good against us. Yeah, but we still don't have lethal. We're short of lethal. If they just got back Champion of Wits, then we just win on the spot. But the Shark actually killing our Dork, because we could fight the Champion of Wits token, attack for 7, but with the Dork dead, now we're short 1 point of damage. Ooh. Well. Kill the Gargaroth. Hit ya. Down to 2. I mean, well, good game back. If they want to scoop, we're fine with that. All right, opponent, adepts. And... that should do it. I think that should do it now. Oh, we got there. Our deck does seem good against control decks. It does. It really does. It feels good after getting controlled around earlier. So, chat, here's the options. Here's the options. This is still lethal, right? Attack you. Opponent blocks. Trample. And death. Whoo! Alright, so here's the options, chat. That actually felt pretty good. That actually felt surprisingly good. Thank you, Recall. So here's the options. Next year, here's the main sets coming out. We have Kaldheim. We have Strixhaven, the University Harry Potter thing. We got the D&D crossover. We have Return to Innistrad. We have Time Spiral Remastered. We have Modern Horizons 2. And I'm sure a bunch of other stuff. which set are you looking forward to most? What is your number one overall 2021 set that we know about currently? Hey Seth, I stepped away from Magic because of how overpowered everything has gotten. What do you think of them printing another birthing pod? I think the birthing pod is very safe, honestly. Like, it's limited to tribal decks for the most part. So I think that restriction is going to keep it safe to the point where maybe there's certain archetypes or decks that can play it and it's good in those decks, but I don't think it's going to be a format defining card or broken card like Birthing Pod was. Kaldheim, D&D, Modern Horizons 2, D&D Strixhaven, MH2, Kaldheim, and then Strixhaven, Time Tower Remastered. Time Tower Remastered is on my short list. I want the old border cards. I want the old border cards so bad. Kaldheim. Yeah, I think out of the standard sets, Kaldheim is number one for me. I would say out of the standard sets, Kaldheim, Innistrad, D&D, Strixhaven. Oh boy, I'm going to get yelled at for this. I have never watched Harry Potter. I've never read it, never watched it, other than the amount of Harry Potter knowledge that you get from seeing previews come across TV or like whatever. That is the absolute limit of my knowledge of Harry Potter. So I kind of know what the people look like a little bit from that, but that is all. Well, keep playing Land Wars, playing land. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Is there a reason? Not specifically. I think it's not something that like especially interested me or interests me, but other than that, not really. Have you ever considered streaming live Magic on Spell Table? Not seriously. The biggest reason the answer is not seriously is because I don't have that many paper decks. So the upside of playing on Arena or on Magic Online is with loan programs and so forth, we can play all different kinds of stuff. I just don't have that many paper decks, so I feel like we would definitely not be able to do what we do now streaming in paper, where we play like so many different decks a week. Huh. Well, let's Traxos. And a tap land. Well, here comes the big boys. I like Harry Potter, but I also was a child. Yeah, that makes sense. I could see it being a good book to read when we were younger. Would you buy a Simpsons Secret Lair? Maybe? I'm actually unsure. Well, Traxos. Untap. Smash ya. Actually, do we attack? Huh. Yeah, we'll smash you. Head ya down to 11. Would I buy a Simpsons Secret Lair? I mean, so I'm assuming it's not unique cards. I'm assuming it's reprinted cards. I think it would honestly depend on the cards. I think they're just crypting to get the 6th card in the graveyard to get back Uru. It is interesting to see in the main deck. Not exactly common. Yes, that's why I was wondering if we should attack, because now Traxos is tapped down still. Traxos is a good Uro blocker. opponent. I definitely think we want more Kioras. Opponent puts a land into Mystic Sanctuary. Huh? Really? This is a ambitious Mystic Sanctuary mana base. Not an island. Not an island. Not an island. Not an island. Woo! Going deep. Opponent. Yeah, wow. Going for the gold? I mean, if we draw anything to untap Traxos, we win. And that does untap Traxos. Huh. Yeah, Traxos 2. Untap. Attack. And... oh, you got a removal spell? Oh, no. Oh, no! Oh, you're giving up. Oh. Oh, yes! Oh, yes, I take it back. That was strange. Couldn't they have survived if they blocked differently? Yeah. Has it really been almost a year? Yeah, we got to do another viewer-submitted stream. So, the upcoming streaming schedule, we'll have a stream Thursday. We'll have a stream Monday. We'll have what I think is going to be a Christmas special of some kind or holiday special on Tuesday. And then we're going to have a bit of a break, because I'm going to go on vacation between Christmas and New Year's. And then we'll be back at the beginning of January with Kaldheim and streams and everything back in full force. So I think it'll probably have to be January. I want to plan it a little bit further ahead to give people a chance to sign up and do it. So let's plan on doing January. Yes, it is confirmed that Fetchlands are coming in Modern Horizons 2. The ones we've been waiting for, the enemy fetches. So opponent's just 4-color mid-range. Once again, I'm not sure we change much. Like, bring in a couple of ambushes? What do you think about Lotus Field? Do you think Lotus Field is worth it? I feel like with more Kioras, it might be. Greatest American rock band, Weezer, of course. Who is really the greatest American rock band? So Beatles aren't American, even though they're considered one of the greatest. Rolling Stones aren't American. As far as like actual like, yeah, I was gonna say like. I would argue for like Velvet Underground or something, but I don't know if they're mainstream enough to actually be considered the greatest. Grateful Dead might actually have an argument for it. I guess, yeah, I mean, if we're going up to 90s era, like how far in the past do you have to be? Oh, Metallica. Ooh, I actually really like Buddy Holly a lot. Buddy Holly has some really good songs. I'm not an REM fan. They Might Be Giants is super fun. Oasis is British, unfortunately, so they would not qualify. Huh. Grateful Dead probably has an argument for it. Maybe like Nirvana? Nirvana is just so short-lived though. Like Nirvana, I think Nirvana was definitely more famous than Foo Fighters, but did they didn't have that many albums. Metallica might be in the conversation, although personally, I don't know. Isn't Metallica like a little sellouty? Is that fair? I get Metallica fans mad all the time when I say that, but like, I don't know, didn't they sell out a bit? Like I really like some old Metallica, like the old like thrash metal, the old thrash metal, speed metal 80s Metallica. And then I'm not as big of a fan of the more modern version of Metallica. I think sellout's an interesting term. Like, I think it's a term that maybe gets thrown around more than it should, but I also think it actually is a relevant term. Like, I think that Weezer is like a huge example of that. Like, Weezer like literally started writing songs about like Beverly Hills, that's where we want to be. Like, they seriously went to the extreme, like the extreme of selling out.
The land fights for us.
Opponent goes attacking. I mean, I don't think I'm a sellout. I would say that I don't think that I don't play terror. This Nis is a problem. Oh no, God. So many distinct. How are we losing to counterspells? Our deck is built to never lose to a counterspell, but we're losing to counterspells. Opponent double mana has a Nissa. Oh, we're losing to counterspells. We're losing to counterspells. Yeah? Well, play a Goreclaw. But we're dying brutally. Yeah, we can't even attack. Oh, this is so bad. It's so bad. Opponent. Land. Untaps one.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Goes to combat. Hits us. Or not. Ooh, passes? Okay. Well, we remain alive. I wasn't expecting that. Well, Terror of the Peaks. Galta. It's a combo. It's a combo. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is kind of nuts. Why has no one ever done this before? Are we killing Nissa? Are we killing Nissa or are we going phase? Yeah, I guess we gotta kill Nissa. Who? Why has no one ever played Terror of the Peaks with Galta before? Greatest American rock band, Tom Waits. It's not a band, but you're at 7-Eleven, you have $10. What do you get? Opponent. Passing. Alright, we're going all the way. Board time? Opponent. Giving up. Maybe this deck is just insane against our opponent's deck. Eliminates, don't do anything. Sure, pump them, shoot them, stomp them. Whoa, what a performance. What a performance. Okay. Wow. This actually seems like it's good against the Sultai deck. Like, we've played against Sultai / 4-color control twice in a row, and it has not even been close. Like, I guess it was a little close when they had double Disdainful Stroke and Nissa for multiple turns, but it feels like we were just way favored against the Sultai deck. So if I had $10 at 7-Eleven, so maybe like a cup of coffee, maybe a thing of like Ben and Jerry's, milk and cookies maybe, and what else? That would probably be like 8 of those dollars. $10 worth of gas is a safe bet. Ugh, sour cream and onion. Ooh, I'm not a fan of sour cream and onion. Cheese Danish is a good one. Maybe a Gatorade. Probably probably a Gatorade, like the blue frost or whatever it is. Gatorade. Yeah, I mean Ben and Jerry's is expensive, but it is solid ice cream. I would say. At least I am a fan of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, but it is definitely expensive. Huh. Yeah, let's keep unsealing. Unsealing into Carnage Tyrant could do some work. Oh no. Thoughtseize? Okay, Thoughtseized. We have not made any changes to the deck. Load up on taquitos and maybe a sparkling water. Are taquitos not? What is a taquito? I don't know if I've ever had a taquito. I know people. My taste in food is. I mean, oh no, two thought seasons. Well, now we. Oh, all right, we get into unsealing again. People never agree with my food selection, although people seemed on board with. People seemed on board with Ben and Jerry's. I did not get any pushback for that. Life, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. So I think maybe it's coming around. It's coming around now. Bone it. Any reason not to explore in this deck? Wow, they whiffed. Explore could be. Would it be better than... We have the boar. That's the one thing that wants us to have a lot of creatures and raise Forerunner, but maybe Explorer would just be a better ramp spell. I do think we want more Kioras. Wow, don't even get to draw a card? Oh, that's brutal. Any big creature. Anyone. Wow, okay. No Maelstrom Pulse. Opponent. Okay. Any big creature, it's so good. It's not Galta, but other than Galta, any big creature, it's so good. Opponent hits us. No! No! Oh no! I feel a Llanowar Elves coming. Yeah, no, that's a land. I feel like we're gonna draw Llanowar Elves here. That seems likely. Opponent. Or Galta. The one Galta. This would be the saddest Galta time. Oh my god. No! Oh, another one. It keeps coming. It is cast, so we don't even care if it gets countered. I mean, we would like it to resolve, but it is cast, so we get the trigger even if it gets countered. Come on, deck. There's only 22 lands in the deck. Only 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 14 in a 22 land deck. Gonna have to pull up the calculator. We're gonna have to pull up the calculator. Growth Spiral. Land. Alright, Kogla works. Growth Spirals. Well, shoot down your board. Shoot down your board. Get a big monkey. Pass the turn. Oh, I mean, that was still good. That was still good. Oh, no, they drew it too. Oh, no. Oh, this has been the most awkward draw. Opponent. Land. Well, Shifty McGee. One point of damage short. Oh, we drew the creatures too late. They got to find the faults. Oh, we're going to get an Extinction Event and go to... and I have a feeling we're going to get hit by Extinction Event. Opponent's going to be at 1 life and then come back because we're going to draw lands for a few hundred more turns. Come on, no Extinction Event. Opponent. Thinking. Looking. Alright. They do have Extinction Event. We draw Paradise Druid. Wow. Yeah, drawing those 10 lands, I think, is going to be a problem. Yeah. Yeah, we just, those like 5 lands in a row when we had the 2 Sarkhan's Unsealings, that just gave our opponent a lot of time to find their answers. If we had hit the creature like a turn or 2 earlier, I think that changes the entire game, but have I tried Ether Hub Companion for Arena? I have not. I have like Untap.gg that, yeah, Uro, I'm surprised it hasn't been suspended in Historic yet at this point, honestly. I think we've played against Uro, I would say, I have to look back on it. Roughly like 75% of our matches tonight across like 8 matches or something. Little too late. Well, there's a Carnage Tyrant. I mean, the big thing's cut. We drew every land in our deck. So we got to stop drawing them eventually, but just a little too late, unfortunately. I mean, it hasn't been every match, right? We played Blue-White Control once. Is that the only non-Uro deck? Maybe we played 6 Uro decks in Blue-White Control? I might be missing one. So I think we played 7 matches, and either 5 or 6 of them were Uro decks, with almost all of those Uro decks. We played against one non-Sultai ramp deck, but we've played against almost all Sultai 4-color ramp, like just one after another after another. Ether Hub one is nice. It allows you to look at your sideboard. That sounds kind of cool. What do I use for my beard? I mostly just treat my beard the same way as I treat my hair. The same type of stuff. Well, I don't know. Opponent's got to be making a shark, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, attack. Shark, game. That was a frustrating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we do 9 out of what? 14? 13? Let's we gotta pull up the calculator. We cannot not calculate. I mean, maybe it's not even that unlucky. We'll see. How unlucky were we? So population size 60, 22 lands. 13 cards, 9 of them lands. Alright, so 0.008% of the time. So pretty unlucky. Not like, I mean, 99.8% of the time we would draw less. So yeah, I guess that's pretty brutal. Great Henge could be interesting. More Kioras or Great Henge could be interesting. Ooh, I'm actually not sure if there was Uros in the energy deck. There might not have been. Were there Uros in the ramp deck? There had to be. The Lotus Cobra one? I actually don't remember if we actually literally saw an Uro or not. We gotta look at this mana base. We've had a lot of hands like this. Like, we gotta look at this deck a little more, because the deck seems to have a lot of potential against some of the best decks in the format. I could see Unsealing, if it's fast enough, also being good against goblins, although perhaps not. Grafdigger's Cage plus Sarkhan's Unsealing is probably good enough. Hey, what's up, Mindsaptor? How well were you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I guess the other thing about Great Henge is we can't really chain together too much stuff. We're pretty much, since our stuff is so big and expensive, we're mostly like ramping, hopefully playing Unsealing, and then playing one spell a turn. Yeah, I don't know who actually looks at the hypergeometric calculator outside of me, but I use it. Opponent tap land. Well, Llanowar Elves. Oh no. We might be having the opposite issue this game. All 6 drops and no lands. Opponent passes. Well. Ugh. Yeah, Paradise Druid. Opponent Growth Spirals. Puts a Drowned Catacombs into play. Well, hit you for one. About it. I'm good. Just saw someone mention OMNIScience. Still thinking about putting it in Modern with Obsidian's Aid to reanimate it. Yeah, I mean, if you get it on the battlefield, it is really strong. The hard part is obviously getting on the battlefield because it costs 1.5 million mana. But if you get on the battlefield, it's really good. Unbeatably good in many cases. Opponent takes the Terror of the Peaks. And anyone see anything sweet in Modern lately? Has anyone been playing Modern lately? Something I've been wondering, actually. So if you played Modern in paper,
The focus, and I have just the trick for this.
opponent gets a Thoughtseize. Alright. Well, mana screw. So if you played in Modern in paper, did you switch over to playing online when the pandemic shut things down? Like, did that make you pick up a Magic Online account or anything? Or have you just been, I don't know, kitchen tabling it, not playing Modern at the moment? Merfolk with Paradise Battle combo is funny. Does it actually make the deck, better? Wow, so many Thoughtseizes. So many Thoughtseizes.
Put thoughtfulness before action.
Hey, let's put the calculator. 3 Thoughtseizes in the top 12? Opponent gets another Narset. And kills the Unsealing. We just can't cast anything. If we gotta mix together our 2 hands, we would have won this. We would have won this match already. 5 lands in each instead of 9 and then 2. Made a mono count during the pandemic. How do you like it? Opponent draws a Nissa, which is a very powerful Magic card. Untaps a Fabled Passage, gets in, hits us. Do we draw a land? No, of course not. Draxos, go. Yeah, the 2-land plan is not a good one for us. Not a good one at all. Well, pass the turn. Have you heard of the format Conquest? I have not. What is the Conquest format? Narset 2.
My prowess is unmatched.
Started Moto for a couple days, switched to Arena. Hey, what's up, Zach? I only play Commander nowadays. Consider selling my Modern stuff. Opponent whiffs with Narset. Untaps a land. Hits us to 11. Cycles a Triome. Well, okay. Galta is a card we can cast. Tag our opponent. I think? Yeah, tag our opponent. Oh, opponent blocks. Unblocks. If we win this with 2 lands, that would be amazing. All right. All right. All about this Galta and dodging a Narset activation. Interesting decision. I got a Growth Spiral. Cycles a Triome. Okay. Okay. What do they find? They need, I guess, Extinction Event most likely. Castle Logwain. Takes down Narset.
Prowess.
Grow Spiral. Cast Grow Spiral. Land. Cracks it. Oh my goodness. This would be a shocking win. We've been so mana screwed. Opponent. Only 2 forests. Untaps a land.
Nature's true power.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you make a 5/5 shark? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Okay. About it. Tanking. Thinking. We have a guy. Yeah, if they have Extinction Event. Well, we can't cast anything. I think this wins through a shark. I think. Is this going to work? Is this actually going to work? Opponent. What are they thinking about? I don't get it. I really don't. Come on, Magic Gods. Wait, is this just a salty? Is this a salt rope? Opponent blocks and blocks. What is their card? What is happening? Beat Blue-Eye Control and Historic through it to... Oh, they did have a shark, but it doesn't save them. Yeah, they are super dead. So he did have the shark, but it didn't matter. Okay. Whew. Galta coming through. 2 lands. 2 lands. Oh, Seth, what was the moment when you felt like, yes, streaming is my profession? Was it like going 5-0 the first time with a fringe deck or having a certain number of subs or doing it for X months or years or something? By the way, thanks for being the best streamer out there. Well, thank you for the kind words. J.D. Inger? Oh, boy. J. Dinginger? Close enough. So when did I feel like a real streamer? So my path to streaming was a little bit different because I started doing YouTube. Well, I started writing on Reddit, and then for MTG Goldfish, and then that led to making like budget magic and so forth on Goldfish, and so that led to so it went from writing random stuff on Reddit to writing for Goldfish to making videos and doing the YouTube channel for Goldfish. Hey, see ya, Doug Gender. See you hopefully on Thursday. Have a great night. So yeah, then it went to that, and then streaming came after that. So when I started streaming, I already was doing content and was already, I guess, had some amount of a following, so I wasn't like starting from scratch essentially, because there were already people that knew me from YouTube and from Goldfish. So I honestly still like don't know if I consider myself a streamer. I like in some ways I am. We stream. Oh no. I think we gotta mulligan this. Too risky. So in some ways I feel like streaming is my profession, but then in a lot of ways I don't. Like in a lot of ways I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I started doing YouTube stuff first. In a lot of ways, it feels like it's that or like a mixture of stuff. Well, thank you, Alf. I definitely appreciate it. Is streaming your profession? I feel like your profession involves many facets of content creation, streaming just one. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like, streaming's part of it, YouTube's part of it, and then, like, managing Goldfish, doing all the content stuff, like, that's part of it as well. So it's hard to put the podcast. So it's hard to put your finger on, or for me at least, I don't even know what to call myself, honestly. I guess thankfully I'm the content manager for Goldfish, so that's an easy thing to say. Like, I'm the content manager, and that just kind of encompasses all of that stuff. Yeah, I think that's part of it is, like, when I started streaming was kind of like a secondary thing. Like, my main focus was definitely articles and YouTube. And then it was like, oh, I don't know, people are doing Twitch now. Might as well do some streaming. That'll be fun. A good way to interact with all of you. So that was kind of how it started, and I guess it still kind of feels like that. Where if you look at the amount of hours that I spend on things each week, stream is one of the lower numbers, honestly, because the stream we do roughly 3-hour streams a week. But then when you consider that a single Against Odds episode probably takes me 8 hours or something. Like, doing one Against the Odds, from recording it, making the deck tags, editing, writing the article, all that stuff. Even though we have someone that helps with doing like the video editing now, but that takes as long as the entire amount of streaming. So when you weigh it together that way, opponent kills Traxos. Nissa. Always a Nissa in these days. Opponent turns on a land, gets and hits us. Paradise Druids for days. I feel like this deck is actually pretty close to being good. I feel like it's a couple of changes away from potentially being very good. I mean, it already felt pretty good. It already feels pretty good. With articles, YouTube, streaming, podcast, normally I prefer to say streamer or YouTuber, but I think you're one of the few I would call a content creator. Well, I think that's a fair way to describe it. Opponent. Opponent goes attacking. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Rampant and Nissa on the play. Good way to win Magic games. Ooh, so many Maelstrom Pults. And there's not a card that gets us out of this. Well, that was a weird match. We had the Flood of the Century, we had the Mana Screw of the Century, and then we had that last game, which, sometimes your opponent plays a Nissa on turn 3 and you lose. I have never seriously watched an anime. Hey Seth, curious, how many hours do you think you work in a week? Do you try to stick to 40, or because of things like streaming is easy higher? I mean, yeah, I've always had a hard time with that question, mostly because I really like playing Magic. So what counts is where the line is sometimes hard for me to think about, because I enjoy playing Magic, and even if it wasn't my job, I would enjoy, being able to play Magic. So I feel like some of the stuff that counts as work doesn't really feel like work. And I'm super lucky about that. But I definitely do spend a lot of hours. I think, like today, so today is Tuesday. So we have the stream that starts at like 6 o'clock my time. I generally start doing stuff at like, I don't know, 7-ish in the morning. So today, technically, I mean, I had lunch, I had to make a couple phone calls, but technically I would say I've been working from 7 o'clock this morning until when we finish up the stream at like 9 o'clock. So that's like, what, I don't know, 14 hours or something? With, like I said, like some lunch and some little things like here and there but I guess most jobs are kind of like that. Even if you're at the office, you still might get a non-work phone call, or you still get lunch. So if you actually add it up that way, it would look like an insane amount of hours, but a lot of that time was, working on working on Magic decks that I am interested in building, or recording a modern league for a future bunch of brew, or things like that. So is that, like, how does that count? How does that actually count? So if you just stack up the numbers and time spent, the number would be very high, I think. Like, I don't know, 50, 60, sometimes during really busy times, maybe more than that. But like I said, most of the time it doesn't feel, wow, we're going to wreck this Merfolk deck so hard. Oh boy. Traxos. Do I at least take the weekends off? Sometimes. Not usually completely off. I've tried to get better at it. Like, I used to be a lot worse at it, and I actually realized, like, I think I'm doing myself and my content and my work a disservice if I don't try to at least take a little bit of time off now and then. So, like on Sunday, maybe, take part of the day off or something. So I feel like I have gotten better at it compared to a couple of years ago where I would just go. But I still do stuff on Saturdays and Sundays. It's not like I have a strict rule where I don't do anything. I listen to the podcast. You guys really think Pioneer is dead? So my thoughts on Pioneer are, Pioneer is in a really bad place at the moment, I think. With paper being gone, the interest on Magic Online is very low right now. My hope for Pioneer making a recovery is twofold. So I wouldn't say it's dead. It's probably on life support at the moment. But they're still saying they're putting it on Arena. And I think that would be a huge deal for Pioneer. Like, if it shows up on Arena, all of a sudden that's millions of people that are theoretically going to play it and then potentially pick up the format in paper as well. So I feel like that's number one. And then, wow, these fries are, like, incidentally good. So that's one thing. And then number two is eventually the pandemic's going to end. Eventually, I hope and think people are going to be able to go to local game stores and play again. I think it'll probably take a while. I don't expect that Pioneer will go right back to where it was, last January or something, and just go right back to where it was. But I do think that will allow it to make a recovery. So I think that's my hope for the format. So I think the format is in a pretty not good place now, but I do think there is hope for the future for the format. So I wouldn't say it's dead in the sense that it will disappear and not be a thing. Ugh, all right. Well, do a little trimming, I guess. We have a lot of cards we want to bring in. I mean, that's the other thing I was thinking about on the podcast is, like, yeah, they're bringing it to Arena, but by the time they get it to Arena, if we don't see a recovery in paper, are people going to care about it anymore? Ugh. How do you feel about Rhythm of the Wilds against control decks? I mean, I think it's a good way to fight through it, assuming... It's a good way to fight through counters, assuming you're not up against a control deck that can easily answer it. And I'd have to look at some of the historic control lists and kind of get a sense of how many answers there are. Like, a good example is there were times in Standard when Mortify was just played in the main deck of, like, every control deck. Often, like, 4 copies. So it was very hard to actually use that as a strategy because your opponent just accidentally can answer it all the time. On the other hand, let's cultivate. I assume our opponent has a counter if they're not playing this Regery, but sure. Wow, okay, they don't. Take you, put you into play. Do I remember my first ever Magic deck? I do. I remember it very well. I don't know if I could actually recreate the exact 75, but it was a deck built mostly out of cards from original Mirrodin. It was built around charge counters, moving charge counters on and off of things, with the big payoff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With a big payoff being Eon Storm. And Eon Storm is so bad. It's like, I want to say 2 mana red enchantment. This pay 2, remove a charge counter from something to shock something. But that was my first deck. So like energy chamber, charge counter shenanigans, and it wasn't a good deck, but it was fun. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the like puzzly aspect of it, of like having a bunch of different things. They had synergies kind of work together a little bit like a machine. So, and I still like that playstyle. I think you could say that it was maybe very much an against odds deck. I think you could say it was essentially like an against odds deck. Was probably the first deck I ever built. Not nearly as good as I think my deck building has proved a lot since then. So not as good as an against odds deck would be now probably, but still very much in the style of an against odds deck. What do I think about the token limit? I like the token limit. I think it's a good change. And I think it's partly because I'm used to Magic Online, where a token limit has been a thing for a long time. So I just kind of like accept that a token limit is necessary in digital. Oh, kill the Mistbinder. Land Terror the Peaks. Oh, wow. Well, this deck is playing a very high number of counters for being a Merfolk deck. Wizard's Retort. Interesting. Opponent goes attacking. Well, I guess we take it. Opponent. Silvergill Adept to draw another card. Land. They really have another counter? Oh, Kill Trickster. Oh, well, pass the turn. There's a chance they can just tap down all of our creatures? Oh, interesting. I thought this was going to be a freebie. Opponent. Thanks for a while, Brazen Barrows. Huh. That's a lot of non-Merfolk in a Merfolk deck. Is this a Wizards deck that's playing Merfolks for some reason? No, it's Merfolk. Alright, well, I mean, that did work for our opponent. That's a lot of non-creatures to play in your Collected Company deck. There are many things about this deck that I would question. Fry, not going to be enough, I don't think. I'll kill that. Play Llanowar Elves. Oh, I still think this ends with us losing here. Rejury any Merfolk to tap down our stuff. Well, interesting. Well, we get to be on the play for game 3. Which is good. Yeah, run it back. I mean, we have a ton of uncounterable stuff. Yeah, the difference between Pioneer and Historic will be interesting to see. Well, alright, we'll see. We are going to need a land, and as we saw last game, our opponent's playing counter Merfolk, apparently, with Collected Company. I wonder how many hits are in their deck. I wish I could see their deck list, because I'm curious how you can play that amount of counters and Collected Company and still have your Collected Companies work. Well, play the land past the turn. Opponent plays a land. This counters, right? Creatures you control have, whenever this becomes the target of a spell or ability the first time you turn, counter the... Yeah, alright. Kill you. Might have actually been unnecessary to kill it, since we have the Sarkhan's Unsealing, but... Hard to pass up the value. Play the Sarkhan's Unsealing. Opponent. Can you answer it? Name's Merfolk. Silvergill Adept. Revealing a Biomancer. Draws a card. Opponent. Oh, here comes the Flame Waves. Another Silvergill Adept. All right, opponent's fighting the good fight. Well, we will... Traxos, Wrath your board. Down to 16. Pass the turn. Hey Seth, working on sleeping at my new commander deck, Jeskai Akroma. Ooh, Akroma's a sweet one. I like Akroma a lot. I'll play the land, play Kiora. Untap Traxos. Go to combat, smash you. Go. Wow, takes it down to 9. Well, untap with Kiora. Yeah, we definitely want more Kioras. We'll talk about upgrading the deck after this match. Because this deck actually feels very close to being good. Even against the top tiers of the historic meta. 2 Mistbinders. Oh, but opponent... You're about to get Flame Wave by the Kogla. Oh, that deck sounds sweet, Doug. I went with Jeskai because it means I can run Lightning Angel and Parhelion. Yeah, those sounds like sweet additions. Yeah, I remember when Merfolks were like an actual legitimate legacy deck. There was a time. Yeah, the Bills are surprisingly good this year. Monkey, yeah. Sweep your board again. Sarkhan's Unsealing so good. So good. Yeah, the Bills are surprisingly good. I can't believe I'm saying that, but they actually really are. The Jets are doing much better than I hoped. The funniest thing to me about the Jets is the Jets obviously are trying to lose every game and get the #1 overall pick. The best part about that, and I really hope it happens, is there's a reasonable chance that on the last week of the season, the Jets have to play the Patriots. And Bill Belichick used to be the Jets coach and kind of hates them. There was like this huge falling out. They kind of hate each other. But they probably both will have the incentive to lose. The Jets will want to lose to get the #1 overall draft pick, which is really important. The Patriots should want to lose. Because if they lose, they'll get a higher draft pick. And it gives Belichick a chance to... If the Patriots lose, the Jets would not get the #1 overall draft pick. They would lose out on the quarterback they want. So they would theoretically be screwed over if the Patriots somehow lost. So I think there's like a reasonable chance that the last game of the season is going to be a Patriots team that really wants to lose against a Jets team that really wants to lose, which I think would just be super hilarious. Apparently, if you Google this, apparently there was actually a soccer game where this happened, where they essentially wanted an intentional draw. That was the most beneficial outcome for both teams. And they actually went through the entire game trying not to win. They played it out through the entire thing. But if you Google, you should be able to find it on Google. I don't remember what league it happened in, but there is some precedent. Any recommendations for starting a streaming channel from scratch? Well, it's easy to start up. I mean, download OBS is what you need for streaming. It's easy to set up a Twitch account. I think the biggest thing is try to be consistent. It's going to take a while to get going. There's, I think on average, 110 people streaming Magic at any given time, assuming you're going to stream Magic. So you're going to start off, 108th or something without many viewers. The only thing you can really do is try to make contacts, talk to people, be active in the community. I think that definitely helps. And just be patient and wait for things to grow. Be yourself, be consistent, and just know it's going to be a process. Especially now, like, it's kind of shocking. I was looking at some stats. If you go back to pre-arena, when I first started streaming, pre-arena time, when I first started streaming, there were an average of 25 people that would actually be streaming Magic. 25. And now that's more than quadrupled. It was up close like 150 at one point, and now it's like 110-ish. But there's way more people. And if you look at the amount of views that happen on Twitch, back during the Moto era, it was an average of like 3,000-4,000 people in total watching Magic at any given time. Right now it's like 5,000 or 6,000. So you have like 4 or 5 times as many people streaming Magic, but you have double, not even, the number of people watching Magic. So all that to say, it's going to be a slow process because there's a lot of people that are streaming. There's a limited number of viewers. It's going to take a while. So being consistent, being yourself, that's really the best thing you can do. And do it because you enjoy it, not because you're expecting to be a career, because honestly, it's probably pretty unlikely. I'm incredibly lucky and blessed that I get to be the content manager of Goldfish for a living. 8.6k viewers, not quite peak time either. Yeah, I mean, if you go to sullygnomes.com, you can see all the old stats. So anyway, that's our last match for tonight. We actually went 3-1 with this Unsealing deck, although there's a couple things I want to say. One is, I don't know about this Wiltlet main deck. I really like the idea of this deck. It was surprisingly good. It was good against Sultai, which is the biggest matchup in the format. We saw it just destroy the Merfolk creature deck. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I kind of feel like there's a chance that maybe not this exact deck, but something very much like this could actually be competitive. I think for me, Kiora is a card I really want more of. I feel like Kiora is really good in this deck, so I kind of want more Kioras to give us card draw. I'm not sure about the ramp. I think there's an argument that, like, why do we care about creatures? Why do we care about these creatures when we could play Growth Spiral and we could play Explore? The only card in our deck that actively cares about having a bunch of little creatures is kind of Enray's Forerunners. I don't know if that actually matters. So we could play Growth Spiral and Explore. So now we have ramp spells that can't be killed. The only downside is going to be we are going to need to add more lands to the deck rather than 22. So we have Kiora. We have, we can maybe go down this ramp through for now. So we have a bunch of early game ramp. We have the Sarkhan's Unsealing that was great. The uncounterable stuff seemed very good in a lot of our matchups. Traxos, I don't know if we can cut it. I'm not sure about this Gargos. Like, are we that desperate for anything that has a big power that we got to play Gargos with no synergies? Probably not. Also, Enray's Forerunner. Is there a way we can just, let's see if we can just search here. Is there a way to... Oh, you can't search for power greater than, can you? Is there a code to search for power greater than something? I remember they added a bunch of like hotkeys, but I don't actually know how to do it. Would adding are you adding blue? No, not planning on adding blue. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess we can't just search for creatures with power 4 or greater. Well, I just wanted to search for creatures that had at least a certain amount of power. Oh, is it actually working? Oh, it does. Okay, so POW... Okay, there we go. So that's greater than 7. Let's go 6. So power greater than 6, but we need to get rid of this. Oh, I guess we are adding blue. Well, actually, I don't know if we grow Spiral. Maybe we don't. I'm actually not sure if that's better or not. What other big things can we play, though? Infernal, preferably big and cheap. Infernal Helion, I think, is too bad. Nyxborn Brute's definitely too bad. Dracuseth is a lot of red. Aggressive Mammoth. Two different versions. Giganosaur is sweet, but that's a lot of red. Oh, man. Growth Spiral and Earl probably would make the deck way better. Any mutators? Mutators could be sweet. Godzilla, King of Monsters. Fusion Elemental, both 5 mana 8/8. I guess there's actually not that many options. Nulamog. Elder Gargaroth is only 6, so we want as many 7+ as possible for the max mode of Sarkhan's Unsealing, although some smaller ones are fine. What is the best... So what is the best ramp package? Like, are we going with Explorers? We could play Vorse Claw. Guest Bark Twins. Greater Sandworm. Ooh, Troll King. Why didn't it show up? It is 7. Why didn't this show up? Huh. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Troll King could be worth considering. That's probably better than some of the other janky cards we were playing. Maybe we could go Troll King and go Gilded Goose. I kind of like the Beanstalk Giant idea, too. This would put us at 29? So we go up to 23, or 59, so we go up to 23 lands. Huh. Do we need Llanowar still? Traxos is a pretty good way to trigger Unsealing. Like, that's the upside of Traxos. It is just a really cheap way to Sarkhan's Unsealing. What we're kind of missing is play a Sarkhan's Unsealing, immediately Wrath, if we don't have Traxos. Because we got to get up to 6 mana. Yeah, I guess we could just see any colors. If we look at any color, what do we actually get potentially added? So Rotting Regisaur is a sweet one. Actually, black is kind of funny too, because this is a 7/7. It might immediately die, but it is a 7/7. Yeah, we have not collected on Clackbridge. So there are some good black ones. There's Yargle for the memes. So black has some potential. Blue doesn't add much. White doesn't add much. Of course, green, there's a million. 2-color stuff, not a ton. So black has a lot of cheap ways. So maybe going Jund would be worth it. The other option would be to... So if we're going to splash, we could go into Jund, play Rotting Regisaur. Whoa. So we go into Jund, play Rotting Regisaur, and... Maybe something else. We could also go... yeah, like Kroxa would be good. Regisaur Kroxa, probably. We could also go Growth Spiral Uro, go to the dark side, which, that would be a pretty effective ramp plan, and Uro, it doesn't get to 7 power, but it is 6 power, so it does trigger at least one mode on Sarkhan's Unsealing, so that would be another option to go that direction. I'm honestly not sure, though, if that's worth it or not. The other downside is, if we go too deep with Growth Spirals and Uros, 23 lands is not a lot. We're at 22 right now. We can add in one more. So I feel like that would be another concern. We might just be too whiffable with that change. I was thinking of Lotus Field, because it does work well with Kiora. We could play Lotus Field, and it might actually be worth it now that we're upping our Kiora count. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I feel like we gotta up our land count too much if we want to go with the Explorer plan. I think I might just try it something like this. And this might still be too janky, honestly. I think we improved it though, because like Gargos was really bad. Our curve doesn't look horrible. More Terror of the Peaks would probably be fine as well. Yeah, no Death Shadow in this format yet. I think next time I play it, I might play it like this. My only, so my concern here would be, is our ramp just too slow? Is it going to be too slow with having so much 3-mana ramp? 3 into 5 isn't the best for Unsealing or Carnage Tyrant. Like, we might still just want to play, Scourge. Oh yeah, Scourge of the Skyclaves could be sweet too. Technically, that is probably going to be big enough most of the time. A decent amount of the time. Yeah, black actually offers a lot of potential. Yeah, Llanowar might be necessary. Is Goreclaw worth it? I wonder if it's worth it. I don't think Scale the Heights is good enough to be worth considering, unfortunately. I think, like, if we were going to go that, it's easy enough just to splash another color and have actual Uro. Maybe like 2 of those. 1 Goreclaw? Maybe something like that. Up our ramp count. Up our card draw count. 2 Koglas. That is a lot of 6 drops. Let's go. I do like Terror of the Peaks in this deck, I think. It might be something like this. Cutting 1 more. I mean, the sideboard could use some upgrades too, I think. The sideboard's weird. And I mean, all this, the deck already worked pretty well. Yeah, Turn Timber Symbiosis, I think, is probably worth it. Are we going on the Lotus Field plan is the other question. That's a little bit risky with our low land count, too. Maybe we go Turn Timbers and, like, Shatter Skulls? 2 Shatter Skulls, 4 Turn Timbers. Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher actually seems very good. Only 4 power, but it's a way to get removal in the deck. Do we have enough Flame Waves, though? So we have 1, 2, 6, 10 creatures that fully trigger 12 creatures that fully trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing, and then 5 that partly trigger it. That's not a bad number. It might be this. It might be this. Something, I think we're getting close. I think something like this is pretty good. Oh boy. But I will say, if you mess around with, I don't know about Lotus Cobra. I don't feel like we have enough landfall synergies to make it worth it. If we're gonna go with Kiora and Llanowar Elves for ramp, I think that makes it worse. But I like this deck, and I actually feel like this deck could be very good. Rhythm of the Wild, I feel like we're good enough against control already to really need it to fight counter spells, and Haste is nice, but I don't know if it's worth playing it in the deck. We already got a lot of 3-drops. But I could see testing it. The Flatland is sweet too, but our mana base is getting MDFC'd. Like, we also want to be able to play lands on tap, and we got 4 Castle Garen Briggs, which makes us have forests, or they come into play tapped. So there's a risk that if we cut too many, like, forests, then we end up just playing all tap lands, and that would be painful as well. But, yeah, so Traxos, we non-tap it with Kiora, and it's our cheapest way to trigger Sarkhan's Unsealing. But you are right that it is a little bit medium. We have 1, 2 legends plus Kiora. Not a lot of ways to untap it. Additional, I guess Score Claw's in there too. But, I think the Helion's pretty bad, unfortunately. Helioid. The Helion, 4 mana, 7/3, trample the beginning of each end step. If it blocks, shuffle it into their attacks or blocks. Shuffle it into your owner's library. Yeah, that's a very temporary ability. I think I'd rather have Traxos than Inferno Helion. Oh, man. So, anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for tonight. But if you mess around and play some Gruul Unsealing or work on the deck at all, definitely let me know on Thursday, because this feels like a sweet deck, and I feel like it could actually be good. It was impressive in our matchups, and it feels like it could be even better. So if you do any brewing or tuning, definitely let me know. But, yeah, let's do some quick reminders on the way out the door. Are we not playing a match? Yeah, we were just doing a little updating at the end of the stream. Maybe we'll try it on Thursday. But on that note, everyone, reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you'd find all the old streams, normal YouTube, tons of stuff going up on there, Commander content, spoiler content, Against Odds and Modern tomorrow. And one more reminder that our awesome sponsor tonight is Card Kingdom, and if you need some Magic cards, you can get them at cardkingdom.com. And most importantly, everyone, thanks to all you. Y'all are amazing. Seriously, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for hanging out, being silly, having fun, playing Magic. We will be back on Thursday to do it again, have some more fun playing something. So until then, everyone, have a great Tuesday night, have a great Wednesday, and I will see you on Thursday. So, yeah, until then, talk to you soon.